Day here at Crafters TV, and let me tell you this, what a day, what a day, what a mighty fine day we have got for you. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. My name is Rebecca Redican, feel free to call me Becky, and we have got glitzy goodness, fantabulous dies and demos perfect for you to recreate at home. We have, of course, got the fabulous Jamie in with us. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, hello.
Jamie, for anyone who didn't watch the previous show, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Jamie Rodgers. I'm here today from Creative Expressions, which is a fab company. We bring you lots of different brands like Cosmic Shimmer, Woodwear. We're also the home of Sue Wilson as well. And I've been working with them now for nearly 3 years, getting to come out and demonstrate their products and be a bit of a brand ambassador and hopefully show you some new ideas. I also design a little bit for them as well, so there's a few of my products on today's show as well.
We're actually going to start with some of the products that you've designed. With these, what kind of came into your mind when you wanted to design these fabulous shape boxes?
So being completely honest with you, I've always loved interior design, always wanted to sort of do an interior design course or possibly go into that field one day. Yeah. So that's always been very heavy in my world. And then I used to teach card making classes and I always wanted different ideas. And we sort of go around in lots of circles, don't we, when we do things like teaching, and you sort of tick off all of the boxes. And I sat at home looking up at my wall in my front room and see I'd got 3 canvases side by side and thought, well, actually, why don't we make those for cards? Wow. So at that time, this was way before I joined Creative Expressions, I got out my scoreboard and my knife and my scissors and went at trying to make them. And we did succeed, but it was very tricky and not very easy. So when I actually joined with Creative Expressions, it was the first thing I wanted to do was bring them to you and bring you new shapes as well, because I was very restricted to squares and rectangles. So today we've got octagons and hexagons. So it's a bit braver and a lot more tricky for you to try and do on your own. Oh. So there's a die that you can do it time and time again perfectly. That
is brilliant. Don't forget, we've got Jamie in for the rest of our shows today. So if you're watching and it's approximately 2 minutes and 43 seconds after 2 in the UK, or that past 9 AM in the US, then do feel free to get us on socials, all right? I want your questions for Jamie. I want anything that maybe you fancy knowing, maybe you need some hints and tips. Get in touch with us on our socials. Details are at the bottom of your screen right now. And speaking of right now, let's dive on in, because I know we've got loads to get through. We're going to start off with the wonderful Jamie's Canvas collection. And as you've heard there, a little bit of the background of these fabulous pieces. And actually, I think when you see them, you're going to think, boy, that is going to be hard if you were to just do it with a scoreboard, but we've got everything you need in here. 10 dies in total, and these are the elements you are going to be able to create. So you've got the opportunity here to make varying sizes of these designs. And as you can see with the octagon shape, you've almost got a little bit of a kind of optical illusion detail with these in the way that you can have the open frame, the closed detail as well. You are also getting your hands on the large octagon as well as the cherish elements as well to this. And so you've got the different sizes within here for you to be able to create. And I've got to show you, because you lot are like me, visual, crafty designers and lovers. Check out these pieces, the elegance that you can create with them. But also, look at this one, so bold. And this is the wonderful thing, you've got that creativity in here. So you have got this look. What I like when I'm kind of making for people is if I'm posting it to them or if I get to see them and they open something and you can almost see the cogs in their brain going, how on earth has this person made it? With these fabulous dies, that's the reaction you're going to get. And today we've got a discount, saving 10% on these. So they are just £22.99 or $39.49. Of course, if you are platinum, then you're getting it even lower in price. If you want to know how to become a platinum member, it's free to do so. You spend more and you save more, but we'll tell you more about that in one of the breaks. This just in. It's just in. 20% of the stock has now gone, okay? 20% of the stock on this one has gone. So if you've been umming and ahhing and thinking, get it in your basket, check it out, then kick up your feet and have a glass of whatever you fancy. Should we move on to a different shape? Let's do it. Let's head on in now to the hexagons. The hexagon shape is brilliant if you are into kind of your bee collections, you know, your beautiful sort of ranges that we do here amongst others. I know that Dreamies were in and had some of their bee range as well. Oh, actually, is that this weekend? It is this weekend. Exciting. Uh-oh, shouldn't have said that. Too late, did. But if management are watching, I genuinely didn't mean to mention that. We have got for you your lovely hexagon shape. And when I'm looking at this, I am thinking of like honeycomb, you know, beehive. I'm imagining linking these in together. Obviously, there's absolutely oodles you can do with them. That's just what springs to mind for me. With this one, your sentiment die is a really wonderful, elegant dream. And again, you're getting the dies that you need. So with this one, you're going to be getting 9 elements in total. And check out the type of stunning design you can create. The lovely thing about these dies, I think, is their versatility, and you are going to have a lot of fun working with these. So again, price and details on your screen. And again, news just in, 20% of the stock has gone on this one. They're literally pipping each other to the post. We have got loads more products to go through. So as opposed to, you know, yammering your ear off on everyone, let's dive in, get through them all so you can treat yourself to these goodies. So we're going to be talking about the Sue Wilson layered carnation dies. 12 elements in here. You've got 10% saving. Really wonderful 3D elements they create. 1/3 of the stock gone, which is a 33%. We have also got in here your 3D embossing folders. Now these are wonderful, bold embossing folders. I will just let you know that we have got some of your metallic polishes coming up soon. These and metallic polishes go great together like Bert and Ernie. We have also got for you today the clear stamp set. So this one we're going to be bringing to you lovely dancing dragonflies. You've got your vintage roses within there as well. Again, $17.99 or $20.95, discounted again for you today. Then I'm going to talk stencils. Wonderful stencils, these ones. I was having a nosy at these before. Quite a few of these ones are speaking to me. It's a great way to get the section, making that bigger saving. So all of these stencils are available, as is the gilding polish. Newest new of the shiniest new beautiful versatile colours for you today. We have got a set of 6, again giving you that discount. So if you've already tried these out before, add the new colours to your collection. If you haven't, don't worry, we will be talking about them as the show goes on, and you're going to fall in love as everyone else does. One more to see before we dive on into a demo. It is our embossing powders. I know as well as you do that whenever we have, you know, shows, if someone uses embossing powders, there is a rush of questions. When are we getting more in? If that has been you wishing and hoping and waiting, now is your time. You've got the mixed colours there, the funky gold, the patina, and the bronze as well. So you've got the lovely collection here for you today. Great discounted deal. So seize the moment whilst you can. Let's head on over to Jamie, shall we, to get demoing. So what are we going to start off with, Jamie?
Okay, we're going to start with the polishes, and we're actually going to do some stenciling with them. Wow. This is the card that we're going to create to begin with. I quite like this. It gave me a bit of a Thomas Kincaid vibe, where the gold was sort of shining through it. You've got that sort of painted with light effect. I want to talk to you a little bit about how the polishes work before we dive in and do the stenciling. So I'm going to show you some of these first of all. So as Becky mentioned, we have 6 different shades to play with on today's show. I'm going to start off with our gold one because I think it's important that you can see these. And I'm going to bring in just a couple of pieces of card which I've already embossed using one of our folders. This is our Moroccan Tile 3D folder. So with the polishes, you have your lid obviously attached to the top of it. We literally just unscrew the lid. In the top of the lid, you will find an applicator that you can literally just pop out and it will be ready for you to work with. What's quite nice with these is you can actually stand your lid up on your tabletop and you can then dock your applicator in the top there. So you don't have to keep chasing them around your desk either, which can be quite handy. Clever. Yeah, it's all sort of thought of, to be honest. Yeah. Now, don't be fooled. You don't have to just use your applicators. If you want to use brayers and paintbrushes and any other mediums with these, you can do. Don't be limited to the applicator, but it is a good little tool to have. We're going to build up a slight ramp on the inside of the product, just so we're taking off as much as we're putting onto the applicator. So the applicator has a nice smooth covering across the base of it. And then we're just going to go straight onto our card. And I've already got a little bit off my fingers here, so we're just going to brush that out of the way. And we're going to take the applicator and just brush it over the top of the card here. Now, because we're working on 3D embossed card, we're just literally kissing the top of the embossing and creating that pattern. Now, this is obviously a piece of our coconut white card, so it's basically a creamy white shade. If we do exactly the same over black card, you're still going to see your polish come through. So that's still going to sit on there nice and prominently. So to me, I often refer to these polishes as pearl card in a jar, because it means I no longer have to go and buy pearl card. I can just do my edges. So like, for instance, across the base here, if I was doing some mattes and layers, I could literally just go around the side of my card as my matte, and then I'm not having to pay for expensive pearl card.
That's so good.
Now, throughout today, we'll also show you how you can stamp with these, how you can sprinkle in embossing powder to them as well. You can also hook them out, mix a bit of water with them and paint with them as well. So there are a lot more to them than just doing this part of the technique, but it's a really good way for you to see them to begin with. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our gold, we're going to stick with our lovely golden colour, and we're going to bring in one of the stencils. So this is one of my stencils, this is the Lattice Lilies stencil. And I'm just going to hold this down for speed, because if you don't want to watch me tape it and then untape it and all that shenanigans. And I'm going to use a stipple brush this time, just an ordinary stipple brush. I'm going to take a bit of this out. I'm going to take off the excess just onto a mat, or in my case, an acrylic block, or anything that you've got to hand that we can wash off. It's a water-based product, so you don't have to worry about that either. I'm just going to move over slightly so I can get back onto the middle of my mat. And we're going to take the whole stencil and we're just going to stipple over the top of it. So we don't have to do all of this, but we'll do a fair bit just so you can get a bit of an idea. And we're purposely taking off so we don't have too much on our stipple brush.
How much pressure are you putting on with that, Jamie?
Not too much, to be honest. You could be quite light if you want to, or you can be quite heavy. You know, really play around with them. It's completely up to you, and we can really level it if we want to. So again, if you wanted the flowers to sing a little bit more, or you want the background to pop a little bit more, you can do that. It's your choice. Build them up as you wish to. So we'll carry on going over. I need at least one flower so I can show you a proper flower. So we'll carry on down here a bit. You can take more time over this when you're at home, but we'll just build up our colour. When you are at home, do you get time to craft for yourself? Not for myself very often, no. No, we have Creative Expressions, which is really good because it means we know the products inside out. When we do a show, we make 35 cards per show. Wow. And they're all done by us. That's our sort of target per show. So 35 cards normally takes me about 4 or 5 days maybe per show. So there's not a lot of time left in between that and trying to sort of do everything else in a daily life schedule. So yeah, I don't get too much time to do my own stuff. When I do, I like scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking. That's my favourite hobby because it's purely selfish, really. You get to make it, you get to keep it, you can spend as much time and effort and energy as you want to on the project. Yeah. So I suppose like the canvases, they sort of fit into that area really, because again, it's something you can do with your photos to make them last longer or put them into a different place. I think we've got into such a place in the world now where we take all of these photos, leave them on our phone or our social media. You never look at them, do you? You forget. Exactly. Yeah. We need to get them back out and start living their memories and sharing their memories. Definitely. So what I'm doing now is I've gone on to my Carmine Red. If I was at home, I would probably wash my brush. I'm lying, I wouldn't, but you could wash your brush between the two shades. And we're just going to take the same stencil brush, same style of pressure, and we're going to start building this up over the larger areas of our flower. Again, taking off the excess onto our mat or onto our glass mat if you wish to. I'm only not working on my glass mat so I can clean up and be ready for the next demo a bit quicker. But wherever you wish. It could even be a piece of paper if you want to. It doesn't have to be a wiped down surface. It's just slightly better value for money because it is a quick drying product, and if you was to do it onto copy of paper, it would be dry before you go back to it. Where this way I'm sort of being able to go back and recharge my brush a little. So we'll carry on adding them layers in. We'll go in here as well. Loads of people already getting in touch. Hello to Gwen saying, aloha everyone from icy Arkansas. Definitely no tropical weather for a tropical girl. Hope all is well. Gwen, preach. I've been in the snow this morning.
so I hope you're all good. Hello to Astrid, hello to Val, Mary, hello Evelyn, Linda's in with us as well. Mama Four Boys is saying, insert Queen song. I want it all and I want it now, about your products.
Well, that's very good to hear. Oh, I like that. As long as I don't have to join in with the singing, all's good.
No, you're all
That's
good.
fine, I'm not singing. Your viewers would very quickly turn off if I attempted to sing. We're now just going to swap to a smaller stencil brush. And by the way, colour-wise, I've moved on to our dark green. And I'm just going to go in and we'll just try and brush this actually a little bit to put in our stems and the bit underneath our flower. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side as well. And I'm just going to take off the excess off of this brush so that we can go in with our next colour. And then for our last bit, we're going to use some rose gold. And I really like the rose gold element to this because it'll just sort of tone it all in and make it all match slightly. So pop my stencil back in place. I'm going to go back into the rose gold. And we're going to add in just a small amount of shading. So we'll bring out a bit of that. And we're going to find our petals. And we're going to go round the edges of the petals. Again, spend a bit more time on this when you're at home. But I want to show you lots today. We've got so many bits we can get through. So we'll take a bit more off there.
Do you think this is a good technique for a beginner, JB?
Absolutely, because you can't really go wrong, can you?
Right, yeah, love that. Yeah.
We're just sort of throwing colour at card and hoping for the best. So yeah, absolutely, yes. No, it's a really good one. To be honest, anytime you're only working with a small amount of product and a sheet of card, that's a really good place to start, whether you're an advanced crafter or a brand new crafter. Because in honesty, if this goes terribly wrong and looks utterly rubbish, we throw it in the bin and we've lost a piece of card that's about 20p.
Yeah.
And a little bit of polish, which costs pennies when you break it down to the size of your jars. So, you know, it's not really the end of the world. And that's if you couldn't turn it over and use the reverse of the sheet of the card.
Of course,
you know, nothing's really lost. With the polishes, you could even take the polish and obliterate everything we've done by covering over the top of it. So, you know, nothing's really lost.
No.
But when we take away your stencil,
whoa,
that's what we've sort of created. So I'm personally not too happy with this leaf. That looks a bit too splodgy, for want of a better word. So I would probably work that in a little bit more, and I would go back in and add a bit more red on top of it, just to tone it in. But play around with them. This is just a concept. This isn't exactly what you've got to do, but it shows you how you can build them up.
Definitely.
So we'll pop our polishes off to one side, and we'll continue on with our card. So for my card, I've used an 8x8 card blank, and I've literally just folded the front panel in half so that we have that sort of opening area, so that we can use both parts of our stencil. With these stencils, you actually receive 3 stencils in the packaging. So you have the large and the small, which I've got on the actual card here. But there is also a strip as well. So if you wanted to decorate your envelope maybe to match, or if we was going to make this as an easel, obviously we wouldn't have it this way. But if we was to make it as an easel, you could pop that bar in across the bottom and it would all match in. So again, I've tried to think of giving you the different components for the different areas you might require. Already on my card, I've just added a couple of pieces of white card with that gold edge. So again, when I mentioned about not needing pearl card or to buy pearl card, this is what I mean. You can literally just do the edges. Now, I've already got a couple here, which I have already stenciled through, and I've purposely done them slightly lighter and slightly darker. So we've got, or slightly brighter, I should say. So we've got a bright set and we've got a dark set to actually play around with and decide which one we want to use. Which again, just shows how you can apply the polishes more intense or lighter, depending on the effect you would like to create. So we're going to bring in some white card, and we're going to pop this down. I think I've got the right size square. We'll soon see what we've got there. Oh yeah, that'll do. And we'll pop that one on top. I'm working well off my mat here, so sorry if you can't quite see. I'll bring that back in. So we have just a gold edge going around that one. And then we're going to see if we've got the right one here. Lovely. So we're going to pop this one onto the front. You pack these kits and you put in all these pieces of white card thinking, oh, when it comes to it, I know which one's which. And then you get here and you're like, well, actually, I've just got lots of pieces of white card, haven't I? Why have I got all of these? What am I going to do with them? So we're going to go for the darker, more vintage effect. So we'll take the black one first of all. Bit of Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue over the back of that one. I'm going to pop that into the centre. And then we're going to bring out our smaller one. And we're going to go for the vintage one of that one as well, if I can find it. Oh, it's under my project. Here we go. And we're going to pop this one on the top. There we go. And then just to finish this card, something nice and simple, not complicated at all. I've just taken a piece of white card and I've gone over it with the gold polish exactly the same. And then I've used the word dream, which comes in with the canvases dies. And I've already gone ahead and matted that onto some white and black card. Okay. And we're just going to bring that in and pop it off the side here. And I want it to sort of interrupt that outer edge. So we're going to go with it just sort of slightly over the side there. It will also sit nicely when we bring this side panel back over on the front of the card. And that completes it. It's that simple, that fun, and you could create them sort of effects with the stencils and your polishes if you wish to.
I love it. Check these out, and they are just, it's a smile-inducing card. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not the only one. Monica has just messaged in saying, oh, that is beautiful. Mary Leah says, Jamie, I'm sat here in awe watching your first demo with the Gilding polishes, and it has me gobsmacked. It's just beautiful. I've dropped them in my basket already. So well done to you. Do keep your messages coming in. Do feel free to ask questions. As I say, Jamie is here live with us. So if you have any questions about the brand, about some of these pieces, do feel free to get in touch. Maybe you just want to know something about Jamie personally, like, you know, favourite species of fish. I don't know, it's up to you. Message us in on socials. Sorry, I've just seen Jamie's face in my peripherals.
Please don't ask me that.
No.
Please. Not fish. I don't know fish.
Well, all right, questions like that then. Do feel free, we are on socials. Just as a reminder, you're getting the 3 designs of the stencils, but you're getting 5 of the stencils in total. You've got that live discount whilst we're here, so do feel free to check them out. Let's talk metallic Gilding polishes now. And these are the ones that the wonderful Jamie has used to create those artistic pieces with the stencils. The colours are new, they are fresh, and they are, for me, in many instances, bang on trend. Let's chat about them, shall we? So, in this collection, you are going to be getting the green, which Jamie himself was using earlier on. So this one here is your green dragon, and it is, as you can see, almost like a mythical green. I know that sounds a little bit unusual, but it's possibly due to the kind of polish element within that sparkle. I'm also bringing to you in here the gold that Jamie used. You've got a really nice sort of tarnished gold here. It's almost like an old gold. It kind of reminds me of when you go into like stately homes and you see the big like gilded frames. That's that kind of colour, really pretty. This one's my favourite because it's talking to me and it is saying, use me for everything. This is your petrol blue. It has got the most intense, deep, sort of mystic quality to it. I've got my rose gold as well, which, as we know, rose gold right now leading the way when it comes to fashion metallics. I've got the red for you, which Jamie used on the flowers. I have also got for you this wonderful deep, intense silver, and it is like a pure silver colour. I've got some boards that I can show you here that has been created. The main focal elements are on the white card, and then the smaller little postage sections are on black card. And I think what this proves is just how fabulously intense these are. They are highly saturated, because on the black, I mean, look at that shimmer. I did say to Jamie before the show, that, you know, I do just kind of want to rub my face against quite a lot of these things because they're just so kind of like luxuriously glitzy. But you can see against the black and the white, these are so intense, highly saturated, that even on black cards, they give you real impact. So them's be your colours. The pots last for ages and ages. I know from my own experience of using this product myself in the past, not these colours, but nonetheless. If you do want to seize the moment, do feel free to. Now, let's chat stencils, because I've got some sort of options for you here. 10% gone as that demo was on. So if you do want to seize the moment, absolutely do. So these are your stencils. I'll show you them in the packaging, and then I'll give you some ideas as to how you can use them. So these are your different varieties. You've got different designs here, including the 7x7, which is a nice sizable one. But as you're about to see, you can just use a section of it if you so wish. So you've got these different designs here. And let me show you them when you use them for an emboss. how great does that look? Just see how it's catching it. I love that we've got the numbers in here. How useful is that going to be? You know, have you ever gone into a shop and, you know, it's been someone's sort of random age birthday, you know, 73, for example. You can't find cards with that on it easily, can you? It's always the big ones, right? This, you can create your own. Here's the one that I absolutely love and adore with those figures of my favourite animals. We've got the lovely giraffes on there, amongst others. And then you've got the florals. Now, these are the ones that Jamie has just worked with. Check those out. Stunning, right? And I've got some examples of the cards that I just could not pick up. Look at how beautiful these designs can look on that black paper. And look at this with some of those fabulous gilding colours as well. Oh, it's wonderful, right? If you want to treat yourself to the full 5 stencils, now is your time to do so. Your discount is on your screen there. So if you do seize the moment on these, they will be on their way for you very, very soon. We have got the fabulous Jamie in with us for the show today, and one of the treasures that he's brought to us is the Hexagon dies. Now, these create wonderful boxes and canvas collections. You're going to get 9 elements within this selection, and you're going to be able to create the lovely hexagonal shape. If you do want to treat yourselves to these ones, all of that info is now on your screen. Say that again. A quarter, 25%. 25% of your stock has now gone on these ones, so they are really, really popular. If you do want to seize the moment, please do so. And now you can, of course, shop with us. All of your ordering details is down there in the corner of your screen, so do feel free to treat yourselves to these ones because they've been very, very popular. Jamie, you've got something there in front of you. Pray tell.
This is the card that we're going to do next. It's bringing in the canvases. It's also going to use the mixed media embossing powders. It's also going to use the polishes, the stamps. Yeah, it's a whole lot going on really. So this is the one that we're going to do.
Fab.
So we're going to start off with our piece of card to actually make our canvases out of. And this is just a piece of white card, and I've already gone over it with our polish. So this is our gold polish. So like I show you how to do over the embossed card earlier, over the 3D embossing folder, you literally just build up your layer on the edge of your sponge or your applicator and bring it down the card. If you wish for a more intense finish, then apply a couple of layers, but literally just build it up. It's ever so easy to do, and you can have your card as gold as you want it to be. When Becky held up the board a little while ago and showed you the pieces on the black card, I've purposely done them so you can see they're on black card, a bit like this where the white's coming through, because I want you to see you can achieve more vintage effects with them. If you want to keep building up your layers, then of course you can completely cover it. So it's just down to where you want to be with it. It's more freedom for when you create than just a solid colour straight away. So we're going to stamp on top of this. I'm going to bring a stamp press. We're just going to get rid of our magnets. And I'm only doing this, I'm not going to cut this one because it'll take a few minutes to dry. And I don't want to waste my time heat embossing it with you because there's more I can show you. But we're going to use the Vintage Roses, and we're going to use a VersaFine Clair ink. Obviously you could use whichever ink you wish to be using, but more I want you to see that you can stamp on top of our lovely metallic card that we've created. Now it might take a couple of impressions with this one. It's quite a big stamp and there's an awful lot of detail to it, but there's no reason to worry with that because we have our lovely stamp press on hand to work with. So I'll bring that over for our first impression. We're just going to make sure we apply quite a nice bit of pressure to this one. Get all them beautiful roses, all these lovely text bits. I love the way that Francois designs these. She's put so many components in here, from your butterflies to your wording. It's just stunning. When we open that up, actually I'm quite happy with that for the effect I wish to achieve. So I'd be quite happy to leave that one as is. Because I'm using the VersaFine Clair ink, I would now tip on a clear embossing powder and heat set it. But that's going to take a couple of minutes and I don't want to use that time for that. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to pop this to one side. We might come back to it a little later on in the show and do more with it. Great. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut one of the canvases on some white card just so you can see how they work and how you build them. So I'm going to bring in my sheets again, on my plates. I'm going to bring in the canvas die, and this is actually something worth mentioning. A lot of our creative expressions, not all of them, but an awful lot of them, especially I believe all of the dies that we have on today's show, when you open them up, we have ideas for you on the inside of the packaging. So the minute you get these home, you've got concepts to follow, you've got instructions on how to use them, and you've just got a couple of ideas to get you started. Whether you wish to use them or not is up to you, but they're there if you want that sort of jog in the right direction of what we achieved with them. So I'm going to take off my large die for the outside bit. Now the one we're going to be using is a solid canvas, so I want the whole thing intact. If I wish to cut windows in it, then I can literally just bring in my window elements or my nesting dies and pop them in. Whether you choose to cut them at the same time or separate is up to you. I tend to be a bit bullish and go in with everything at once. Some people would tell you never to do that in case they move. So it's up to you and your limitations. But I tend to think a little bit okay and just get on with it, but up to you. So we're going to pop on a piece of white cardstock onto the top of this and we're going to run this through our machine. Obviously I'm using a Gemini, but any machine that you have that will use this style of die, you'll be absolutely fine. The packaging tells you the size of the die, so as long as it'll fit, you shouldn't have an issue.
Great, that's handy to know.
So that'll just come through. Now as these ones cut, they're also going to be scoring for you. So all of the score lines that we need to work with should be on here already. So if we bring this in, now this one's got a little bit dirty off the mat, but you can see that the score lines are already in place. So they're perfectly ready for you to start working with. There we go.
That's brilliant.
So you have your tabs, you have your score lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a bone folder and we're going to start working around the shape using the bone folder to pop in all of these crease lines. And as we do it, we're going to fold our tabs on the corners as well. And the more of these that you do, the quicker you will get, I promise you. Different ideas for your canvases as well. If you do them and stick them back to back, they make really nice Christmas decorations, which is something you could build up to do. Yeah, I've done a few of them. And if you cut the window in the front of them, you can then put sequins and bits in them and turn them into little shaker ornaments as well.
My goodness,
so yeah,
that's
I'm all about Christmas. I love a good Christmas project, whether it be ornaments or cards or decorations, whatever it may be.
Oh, I love that. Do you have a favourite Christmas film?
Do you know what? No, not really.
No, all of them.
I never watch films.
Oh.
Never, no. Very, very rarely do I ever actually watch a film. I love a good box set.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I think it's because with a film, you have an hour and a half, you just get in love with the characters and it's over.
Right.
With a box set, you get in there and you've got series. We're at home at the moment, we're currently working through Desperate Housewives.
Oh.
And I've seen it all once already, which is really sad to admit. But we're now up to like season 7 of 8. So it's been something like 218 episodes. And you know, you're involved, you know them people.
Yeah,
and I love that. So yeah, I feel like if I bumped into these characters in the street, I'd know all about them now. So yeah, much more involved than a film.
Oh, that's fun.
So what we're going to do is I've got some mini pegs and we're going to start off by adding some glue onto our little triangle because that's ready there to glue onto the next wall. And we're going to add some glue to the opposite top corner and we're going to fold that in and round. So it's tricky for me to do this slowly and show you, but as you go in, take off any excess glue if you've got it and you will find that the wall will be formed on the side here. So the wall is formed. The walls are 7 mil deep, by the way. So when we're thinking of postage, yes, it might be slightly costly, but it's going to give you more depth and more prominence on your card. And we're going to carry on working around. So we're going to add more glue onto the inside tab, more glue to the top tab. We're going to fold them in, and we're going to add a peg. Now with the pegs, by the time you've gone all the way around the project, you can start removing the pegs. And I would actually recommend that you don't leave your pegs on too long, because if you're like me and put a bit too much glue on your different points, the pegs may actually stick to the project. So if you remove them, it will save you having a peg attached for life.
Great tip.
So carry on building this round.
Astrid's messaged in saying these designs are fantastic. Diane's messaged in saying I love the polish and the stencils together. Eve is in saying I am loving this demo already, Jamie. Started watching you on YouTube about 2 months ago when I was forced to buy gilding polishes because of the super cool colours.
Oh, bless her. That's lovely to hear.
Mary's in from Minnesota saying, hi everyone, exciting. Rachel's in from the Shropshire saying it's sunny but cold. Hello to Evelyn who's in from a snowy Colorado. Ooh. Loads of you getting in touch. I have got some questions as well and I will be asking them to Jamie in a bit.
Okay, so at this point, as I mentioned, you should be able to pretty much start taking off your pegs. They really do just hold it just while the glue sets. By the way, if you don't want to use wet glue, I'm using Cosmic Shimmer Dry's clear glue. If you would prefer to use red liner tape or a glue gun, whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be done how I'm doing it, that's just the way I'm showing you today. That will build your canvas. Now, obviously, we did our original one where we did the polish over the card and then we stamped on it. And as I mentioned, I would clear emboss it just so it was ready to cut and has a bit more of a shimmer. When we speak about sticking them back to back, that's what I mean. We can literally stick them back to back, add a ribbon in the top of them, and you will then have a freestanding decoration if you wish to do that. If you wanted to cut a window just in one side, so you've got more depth to add in flowers or different trinkets, you could of course use that depth to do that as well, because we've gone up from 7mm obviously to 14, so it just gives you a bit more body. Great. We'll come back to these in a minute and we're going to work on the rest of the card, and then I'll talk to you about how we're going to adhere them and how we protect them to go through the post, because that's obviously a needed concern. So we'll pop that off to one side and we're going to talk again about our background. So once more, what I've done is I have already gone ahead and embossed using my Moroccan tile onto my sheet here, and we're going to bring in our colour of polish, and I've just remembered I need some embossing powder, so sorry, bear with me 1 second. I always forget something under the counter. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the red one, and this time we're going to apply it quite heavily. We still don't want it to go through the gaps, but we do want it to be quite thick on the actual product. So we're going to apply a little bit more slapdash. We don't mind if it's a bit more on the top here. And I'd recommend possibly even working in smaller areas, because we want this to be quite thick and quite wet, because we're going to be attaching our mixed media embossing powders to the top of it. If you wanted to use standard embossing powder, you could of course do that as well. More I want to show you is that there is a body to add more product to. So we're going to bring in our first one and we're just going to sprinkle this on over the top. Now everywhere that we have our polish, if it's still wet enough, it will take on our powder. And it just means that we've got that grab there in place, and we're going to go a bit darker, a bit more vintage. This may be a different colour to the one I used on my original one. This is, I'm desperately trying to remember the names, this one is Bronze Age. There is also Granite and Funky Cold Patina. So there's quite a choice for these.
These are on your screen right now if you want them.
We're then going to take our heat gun. We'll let that warm up and we'll start going in and heating. Now because it's quite a chunky powder, any that blow away in between, that's not a problem. Bear in mind we didn't put anything in place to hold them there, so they're going to disappear on their own free will. But when we start to heat it, we can start to see that turn.
Oh yeah, you can see it, look. Getting sort of a gloss. And how far away do you sort of have your nozzle from it? Just a couple of inches?
Me, I'm probably a little bit closer today than I would be at home, to be honest. Oh, there it is. Panicking in my head while I was doing that, thinking, I can't see my finished panel. I've lost it. Where have I put it? I have it here. There's all's good. So yeah, do try and hold it where you're comfortable with, but yeah, it's possibly a little bit closer than it should be. But you can see that it's melted our powder, and we have that sort of shimmer and that texture coming in across that area there where I've heated it. I'm going to pop that one to one side, and I'm going to show you one here which I've finished. This one also has a bit of the gold polish on as well underneath it, and it's actually got a little bit of the patina from the Funky Cold Patina put in with it as well, with the mixed media powders. So this can be as vintagey and mixed media as you want it to be. It really is up to you. Play around with them. So we're going to go in and we're going to find our layers to build up with. So we have again just an edge put round of our white with that gold around the edge of it. We have our black level to go on the top there, and then we're going to bring in our embossed panel with our polish and mixed media powders on top of that. This is a bit more vintage for me. This is very Andy Skinner. Andy Skinner developed some of our mixed media polishes, powders, sorry, and he's all into different rust techniques and styles. Hopefully you might get to see Andy on here one point. He's a very talented man when it comes to sort of all these granite and rust techniques.
Great.
So when we go back to our canvases, in the middle here, all I have done is I've taken 3mm foam tape and I've stuck 2 pieces together in the centre. If we remember that the wall on the side here is 7mm, that gives us 6mm in the middle. So when we post it, it's not going to get squished. It's still going to have that life to it.
Great.
And you've protected it. We can take the top of that off. We can find our glue, which I have lost once again. Oh, there it is. Messy today. And we're going to put our glue around the top here just to have our sort of force to hold it in place. And we're going to pop that one up in this top corner. Now at home I bring in my polishers for all sorts of reasons, and being little weights to put on top of my drying areas can be quite handy as well.
Clever, yeah.
Because they're glass jars and they've got a little bit of weight to them, they can be quite beneficial. So we're going to try and keep to the same as the finished one. So we're going to do the rose one next. So this of course is the smaller canvas. You get both together in a set today, so this is the next one down. And we're going to pop that one down here. And then we're going to bring in our last one with our dragonflies on. We're going to pop that one down here. And then lastly, we just have a word to go on the front here. So we'll pop that on there. We have our little white layer to go on the top. And then I've cut my word dream already. And we're going to pop this on with a little bit of glue to the top of that one. The dream, once again, has just been cut out of the sheet of gold polished card. We'll pop that in the middle roughly. So it's quite a simple card, and just an idea really for you. We're going to be pushing the boundaries a little bit with this glue, so I'm not going to hold this one up because they probably will come away. So I'm going to go back to this one to show you the finished result, but hopefully that gives you a guidance on how you can create it.
Wow. That, for me, if I got that through the post, I'd be sending chocolate straight away, right? They are wonderful. Pam E is saying, that is gorgeous, Jamie. We've got Hadassah in saying, I just love the look you get with the shimmer polish and then the embossing on top of it now. Wow. Loads of you getting in touch and just basically singing the praises. Totally understandable. If you would like to recreate that design, of course, you're going to want those dies, but you're also going to want your woodware stamps. Now, with this collection, you are getting a real variation. What I love about these ones is, of course, they've got the photopolymer, so you can see through them, you can see where you're stamping, but also it's really clever in the packaging because they have like a hints and tips section at the back of each packet, which could be great if you're new, but also might be a few little hints in there if you have been doing this for a while. So these are the different sets you are going to be getting. As you can see, you're getting all of these wonderful designs, and I want to show you some of the inspo that we have got from the lovely Jamie. Look at this piece here. How wonderful are those dancing dragonflies? They've got a real joy to them. Great for this time of year, actually, with spring and summer around the corner. I think these are a lovely one. This is the one that Jamie stamped off with straight away. Wait for the sheen. Oh my goodness. Sumptuous, right? So yeah, great for Mother's Day. Easter's not too far off as well. And then this, it's just take your breath away time. We have got that incredible butterfly detail and of course the embossing powders on there too. Speaking of which, let me bring to you, if I may, some embossing powders. In this collection, we're going to be offering to you 3 of them, and they've all got a really different feel. So if you've not seen these powders before, you get these pots, which are 20ml, and they are super there's varying sort of thicknesses to them, but they're generally pretty fine in areas, which means you get loads in here. You can see they are absolutely crammed to the top. Let me show you the kind of effect you can get. So if I pop it down here, the first thing you'll notice is you have got the different elements with these. These are not just a flat embossed colour, they have got personality, which means whatever you make with them, it's always going to be unique. Wait for this though. Oh, just look at the gloss, at the sheen. Check out the texture and the colours. Oh, I just adore it. So you're getting all 3 of these in this collection. I would say that if you are into your embossing, stock up on this whilst we've got that discount, okay? Because you know what it's like here, as I mentioned before. We'll have them, they'll be so popular that they fly out the door, and then we're not always able to get them back super quick sharp. Let me bring to you now some accessories, if I may. Very useful accessories within here. I'm going to start off with your glue. So this is your wonderful cosmic shimmer, and this is your acrylic glue that we've got for you here. 30 mil for you in size. You've got real versatility here, and you've got that nozzle which you can kind of cut down depending on how precision you want it to be. You've also got your little stopper on there as well. Now I've got for you your stencil tape. So this is for all of those moments where you are maybe recreating designs such as the ones Jamie showed us earlier. You don't want your stencil to move, because 9 times out of 10 it'll move just at the end when you've nearly finished the piece, and then you'll move and you might not be able to line it up, especially if it's a really intricate one. So this is your acid-free low-tack tape for those stencils. I have also got for you here your spray bottles. You're getting 2 of your spray bottles in here, which are holding 40 mil in total within them. These are really cool if you love a bit of mixed media. You can put, of course, water in here if you wanted to, for maybe your watercolour artworks, but actually great for using with inks and dyes, and you can actually fill them with those and loads more. This is a great sort of set of treats to treat yourself to, and a real nice kind of get started element maybe for people who are new to this type of craft. So do seize the moment. That price point, £7.79 or $10.99, is fantastic for everything you're getting, and that platinum price is just out of this world. Club Inspire, if you are new to us, first off, welcome to the family. Come on in, pull up a chair. We are the wonderful Crafters Companion, Crafters TV, and we have a club called Club Inspire. Now, you may well have been part of clubs in the past, whereby you might have to pay like a monthly fee, or you might have to spend a certain amount to be part of it. Here at Crafters, it is completely free to join, and you spend and you save. This is more about our Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, $1 or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafters Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafters Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours. I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. Lovely to see you today. And I want to let you know straight off the bat, first things first, I am 50. I'm not 50. Although if I was, I would be selling my tips. No, I am 50% of the way through the stock is what I was going to say. And that, by the way, was 101 on where to not break when in a sentence. We have got 50% of the stock gone on this. I wanted to let you know that straight away, because if you see this and go, oh, I fancy it, don't hang about, no dilly-dally, shilly-shally, just grab it, okay? We have got for you your Craft Dies by Sue, and these are your square collection. So let me show you what we are dealing with here. We have got 37 elements in this pack in total, and there's absolutely oodles in here. So let me show you some of your bits and bobs. You've got your gorgeous aperture dies, as you can see, with the different details. You've got some that, for me, who, as you know, sort of teaching myself to sew slowly but surely, I'm thinking of stitching, hand stitching in between these. You could do some incredible designs with them, almost like Dreamcatcher-esque, actually. Think on it. I've also got for you in here some fabulous sentiments, including but not limited to Make a Wish, which I think is beautiful. Great one for a birthday. Speaking of birthdays, we have got for you candles, cakes, balloons. You've got little, what are they called? What are they called? Party whistles. Party whistles? Yeah? Yeah. Jamie said it's good, but his face says...
I don't know of a different name to give you, so we're going to go with it. We'll agree. I'm sure somebody will tell us different.
Yeah, a party blower. That's, yeah, sure. You know what I mean. Yeah, sounds a bit like an elephant, but anyway. I've also got for you the circles in here as well. And again, you've got that opportunity to work the different patterns in with the different textures and the different dies. And then one that will play in beautifully if you got the canvas boxes earlier on, because obviously you've got the mirroring the shape there. We've got this collection too, which has got for you the hexagons, apertures, and some of the extra details there too. So all of these for you today, and that is again 37 elements, and these are the types of dies you're going to use over and over. It is a 10% discount on your screen for you today. So seize the moment on those. Again, let me give you a sneak peek of just one make. Just before we treat you. Oh, hey up. You can see how beautiful these are going to... Oh, check out this one. I know I said one, but come on. We have got your opportunity on these ones, so grab them whilst you can. This isn't all I have got for you today. I've got oodles more. So shall we have a look at some more of our Sue Wilson elements? Let's talk background elements. So these ones, you're getting the background hexagons and you're getting the rickrack ribbon as well. 2 elements within this bargainacious price on your screen. As well as that, I have got your scalloped squares. Now, these are going to be very useful indeed. You're going to be able to create kind of bases with these matte and layers. They're going to be great for too. Again, discount deal on your screen right now for all of those dies. It's fabulous. As well as this, I'm going to be bringing to you the Sue Wilson French Marigold and Butterfly Delights. And these, you're going to get 18 elements within them. These you can layer up and create kind of really stand out designs. So if you do want to seize the moment today, whilst they're live on air, it's just $24.49 or $40.99. Please remember that's while stocks last. Those have been popular. Let's send some love now, shall we? We have got for you the love squares and the love mail as well. I think these ones are super duper cutesy. I'm loving the idea of using these on cards in mixed media, but not just that. Maybe even just kind of the heart on the back of an envelope when you're posting is really, really sweet. $11.99 or $13.95. Now let's talk stencils. We've already seen a fabulous demonstration with some stencils, but remember there's so much more you can do with these. We have got 50% of the stock gone on this one as well, so do feel free to treat yourself quickly. If you're going to be working with stencils, it would be rude not to treat yourself to some matte chalk polishes. You are getting 4 different colours. We've got wisteria, sky blue, custard, oh, very northern, custard, and honeydew as well. These are lovely complementary colours, and for spring, they've got that kind of muted baby tone to them, which I think is going to be quite versatile. Then I've got your lunar paste. So many people have already messaged in about this. Loads of you are very excited. I have got 50% of my stock gone on the lunar paste. All 3 of them today. Another great discount for you. $16.49 or $24.99. So many people are just absolutely adoring you, Jamie. Deborah is saying these cards are gorgeous, and that card then was quite different. Totally agree with you.
That was a bit of a brave one, that one.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Devona, who's talking about is saying I call them noisemakers. Yeah, I love that. That's funny, that's what I call my dog. We have also got Dana in saying, what great products, I need to shop the whole show button. Bless you, your love. Do keep your messages coming in if you've got any questions, get in touch. But for now, should we head back on over to Jamie? What are we looking at next, my love?
Okay, so we're going to start off with our hexagon background. Now, this is one of Sue's dies that we've shown you a couple of times, but we haven't yet used today, and it's so lovely. Obviously, you can see the pokey holes that actually on the screen look a little bit circular, but I promise you this is the hexagon. What I wanted to show you was that this one doesn't have an outside blade to it, so neither of the backgrounds have an outside blade. So if you was to cut this into your cardstock, this would actually make the front of your card that pattern, which is really lovely and a bit of a unique way to use it. If you do wish to cut it out and actually have it as a freestanding item, that's no problem at all. You can bring in our double stitched squares. This is set B that we have on today's show for you. And as you can see, that will then cut that out and actually have it as a freestanding panel. If you would prefer a fancier edge, then you could use our scallop squares. And there is a smaller one of these as well, but I wanted to show you how you could start building up your outer frames to be a bit larger if you would like them to be, because of you've got that size scope within the different sets. So once you've sent that through your machine and it's come out, this is what you're going to end up with. Now, I opted for the stitched edge because I just wanted it to be relatively flat. So that's your design as it's cut. Now, this design has a bit of a trick to it. We can layer them and play around with them to make different patterns. So if I bring this in to begin with and we layer that literally on top of each other as you see it, you can see that you could create that style of pattern, which is lovely, very nice design. Or we can twist it. We'll go that way, and we can create our very own flowers. Now, I love this. To me, this reminds me of sort of crocheted flower work.
Oh, so
you could put foam pads between it if you wanted to and break it up so it's more of a kaleidoscope idea. You could put different colours of acetate underneath them if you want to. But if you literally line it up, you can have that floral effect. If we twist it in another direction, and I have to get these right now, so you might see them all again. Give me 1 second. We will end up with a slightly different, there we go.
Ooh.
So then we can end up with more of like a lattice work with them as well,
That's
which I
clever.
think is really cool for men's cards. You could even bring in a third one and put all 3 together and go really sort of heavy. You may wish to do them in different colours to build up them patterns if you would prefer. But more I want you to see is you don't just have to use them one at a time. Another idea, obviously, with the same idea, is to bring in our outside dies, so our squares, our circles, and put them underneath them. And then lastly, while we're on this one, could you tell I got a little bit carried away when I was playing with this die? Love this die. Another idea I have for you, and this is a bit cheeky, because it's sort of telling you not to buy a product and create your own, If you take 2 or 3 of these, so I've got 3 here, and we glue them together, and obviously you would do them all so they match up exactly the same, which is going to be more tricky for me. This is like the crystal maze, but you get the idea. So, oh, there we go, all the same. Yeah, I can do it. So we have 3 identically the same. Stick them all together so we have a nice solid panel, and then pop that card or a piece of card on top of it and send it through with your rubber mat. You could create your own embossing folder.
Cool.
So exactly, you can do this with any die. This isn't this die in particular, but it would emboss for you. So a rubber mat, 3 dies sandwiched together, whether it's text or design like this one. It just means that with this design in particular, not only have you got them different patterns I've shown you, you've also got an embossing background and you've got your apertures and it can stay on your card. I just think this is an absolute obsession of mine, this die. I love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to pop them to one side and we're going to bring these in and we're going to glue them together so that we end up with them flowers. Now, so you don't have to watch me twist these for the next 10 minutes, I've already cheated and I've put a couple of black dots on the top of mine so I know what way they're meant to go. Because I knew that I would end up just doing that sort of, you know, like when you see them people play with the cups and they put the money under one cup and move all the cups around. That must have a name. I never know what that is. It always reminds me a bit of that. So I
like that.
There we go.
That looks so cool. I love it.
So that will create your flowers for you.
Wow.
So nice and simple to do. But to me, that's a game changer. That's why you need this one.
I agree.
And then to go on the top of this, I've already gone ahead and I've used my stitch squares once again. I've added a little bit of foam tape around it because I wanted to have that little bit of height. Again, if you wanted to, you could put some acetate underneath this and turn this into a shaker box. Of course, all of them little hexagons that fall out of this would make a really good element to go into a shaker box as well. And I'm going to pop that on the top. If you don't like seeing the edges, so on a couple of my cards, and one I'm going to demo for you later, I've put the neck size down square in the middle so that you lose that sort of edge around it, because if you do get the solid hexagons creeping in from the side. So if you don't want to see that, you don't have to. That again is a choice. So we'll pop that to one side and we're going to work on our background panel. So I've already gone ahead and I've cut out one of my scallop squares and I'll bring back in my polishes. Now this is the one that Becky was saying she really loved. I'm with you. I think this is glorious. Oh. This is probably my favourite colour.
Yeah.
You can probably tell that by how much of it's gone out the jar already.
You use that.
I really use this one. I love this one. So exactly the same as we did before. We're just going to build up a little ramp on the side. And so I don't have to keep cleaning my desk because I'm not very good at that. And then we'll end up marking everything actually. I'll bring in a piece of paper. And we're just going to go over the top of our card just again so you can see how we can build this up and cover your cardstock. Now I do actually want to cover the whole piece for this one. I've got one done so I don't need to do this one completely. But again, if you were going to use your layers over the top of it, you could of course just go around the edge of it to save your product, or you can continue on. But again, it just shows you that pearl that you've got coming straight out that jar. Oh, this is dry. So if you wanted to be working with it, you know, I can really push on it. It's dry. I probably wouldn't put a dye on it or an embossing folder just yet because of it is still slightly damp and you might find it will sort of stick to it. But pretty much to work with or glue onto, you'll be absolutely fine.
Brilliant.
So we're going to pop that to one side, just in case you wonder why I've prepped it already. It isn't because it needs hours to dry. It's just because I like to be organised, or try to be. You wouldn't believe that if you could see the mess behind here, but I try to be. So I'm going to bring in another one of my layers. I've already put on my blue square or my blue edge around it, so this ready to work on top. I'm going to put on my white one on the top of this one. I didn't use one of the stitched ones for this layer, but you could if you wanted to. We're then going to bring in our scalloped squares that we've turned blue. I'm going to pop that one in the centre, just so that we have the little diamonds matching the points. And then we're going to bring in our frame, and we're going to put some glue on the back of this. And I've resisted the temptation to pad it. We're going to go flat so the blue is right up against it. If you wanted to put a few dabs of glue in the middle, you can obviously if you wish to. Just for speed, I'm not going to do that. And we're going to sink that down onto the card. And I wanted the colour to be quite high up against that one. And then we're going to bring in a couple more decorative elements. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't really want to cover this up. I quite like that.
I can understand why.
Yeah, I quite like this. And I was like, I can't just do that and tell them that's a card, so I'm going to have to do more to it. So, when in doubt, bring in a butterfly. So, we have some butterflies, and we're going to use our Sue Wilson butterflies. And I'm just going to show you the individual components. And I'm putting them here on white, and one of them is even transparent. So let's pick them up and put them onto some black card for you so you can actually see them. So we have our white panel that's been cut out. Now with these, we've got the individual outside cutting blade, so we can cut out just that part, which is what I've done here. We then have your fancy filigree bit for the insert. You've also got the body, and you've got the antennae as well. I know these have got proper names, so I'm just going to wing over that literally, and somebody can tell me later.
I always call them dealy boppers, but that's what you wear at a hen do.
That'll do. We can go with that. We can go with that, I don't mind. So we'll just take our vellum one. So this one's been cut out of vellum. We're going to take our filigree piece. We're going to pop some glue over that, and we're going to pop on our vellum behind it. Now something I could have shown you actually, and I've got one here. It's a slightly smaller one, but these polishes work really nicely on vellum as well. So if you wanted to turn your vellum over and add some polish onto it, we'll do it on the black card, and this is actually quite nice actually, because you're going to see the rose gold. If we do rose gold on black card, you see more of the gold pigment come through.
Yeah.
So it looks really lovely.
Yeah.
I'll add a bit more on this one, just so you can see that if you wanted to actually put that underneath your butterfly, you would have that rose gold come through instead.
That's
so
clever.
again, think about colouring your vellums if you wish to. But we don't need these, so we're going to pop them to one side. We're going to go on to the ones I've already built. We'll pop these on. So we have our card under our mess somewhere. We have our butterfly, so we'll pop a bit of glue onto this one. We're going to pop that in there. Then we're going to go for the small butterfly, because you've got 3 sizes of butterfly, if I remember rightly. I'm going to pop a bit of glue onto that one as well. I'm going to bring our card back in, and we're going to pop that one up in the air slightly. Around there should settle, if it will. Might need a little bit more glue. Got quite a lot of texture going on underneath this one with the different layers. So we might let that set before we hold it up a moment. And we have a word that we're going to add as well. So for this, I've used the word dream, and I've cut it out, and we're going to pop that onto a piece of card. Now the piece of card is actually one of the pieces, it's the outer frame. So when you cut our double stitched panels, by double stitched what we mean is the panel that cuts out will have a stitch line on it, and the panel that's left will have a stitch line on it.
Right.
So whether you wish to be using the panel or the frame, you're going to have a nice professional edge to it. Now in honesty, when I do these big ones, I don't tend to need the frames because they're quite large. So what I like to do is actually keep them and cut out just pieces from them with that stitch that goes across the bottom of them. So I hope you can see that on your camera or on your telly, but we've got that little stitch element going across there, just so it tones in with the stitching that we have on the frame already. So it gives you a bit more of a nice finish. So we're going to bring the word dream in. Again, if you wanted to use a little corner of that stencil tape that we've got, you could do that, but we're going to just hold it by hand. We're also going to bring in our stipple brush, and we're going to use our polish, and exactly the same as we did earlier, we're just going to hold it in place, and we're going to stipple over the top of it.
Beautiful. Just to let you know, if you do want to treat yourself to these goodies, 50% of the stock has gone on the scalloped squares and the stitched squares. So if you do fancy them, just to let you know, now is your time.
And there we go. And then when you're happy to, remove your word.
Oh, cool.
And you have your stenciled word, and you've got your die cut if you still wish to use it. So it's just a slightly different effect. It's not quite as crisp as the die would be. Of course, we could have just used a piece of blue card, cut the dream out in white and popped it on, but I sort of wanted something a little bit more vintage.
Yeah.
So that's hence the idea, really. So we're going to pop them to one side, and we're going to bring back in our card. And I've already gone ahead and I've layered this. I've already put another piece of my offcut underneath it and a couple of gems on the side, and we can pop that onto our card. And that completes this one. Now my butterflies may decide to try and fly away. No laughing if they do.
I've got faith
give it
in you.
time.
There. Oh my goodness.
And
How
there's our
beautiful.
original.
And the sheen coming from them here in the studio is just next level. If you do want to seize the moment on those, go for it now. We are so busy that if it was like a text message, it'd be like S, oh. We have had loads of you in. Lovely Jamie is back with us at 6 o'clock. Hopefully we have some of the product left. But if not, before the show, Jamie did say he was more than happy if we sold out to do a little bit of a sing and a dance.
I don't believe we have that recorded anywhere. So I'm going to deny all and say no.
I love it. if you do want to treat yourself to the wonderful scallops and squares, then now is your chance. We have got the different designs. You've got the different sentiments, including happy wishes, a gift for you, make a wish. You've got your sort of scalloped edges, squares, and all of those beautiful designs as well. And the look on them is just, well, let me give you a sneak peek. Wow factor opportunity, creating these fabulous windows, as Jamie was mentioning to us before. It's really useful. I've got some stamps for you to look at next. Oh, by the way, if you have been racking your brains about what this blower is, Rachel has messaged in saying, I've looked them up and they've got loads of names, including party horn, great, makes sense, noisemaker, yeah, we had that one, party whistle, cute, and possibly my favourite, birthday kazoo. Birthday kazoo. Yeah, I like that. So every day's a learning day, and thank you for that information, Rachel. Let's talk now about the stamps, shall we? So we have got for you a wonderful selection of your marigolds and your butterflies as well. I did have them make next to me. I've been sort of so super duper tidying up that I've left them here. So we are bringing to you within this collection your marigolds and your butterflies. You have got the 18 elements within here. And let me give you a little idea of some of the makes we can do because they are, that way round, Bex, absolutely exceptional. So you've seen that we've used some of the butterflies earlier on, 4 different sizes of your butterflies with kind of the back wings and the more intricate textured wings, let's say. You're also getting the bodies to each of these ones. Then we're bringing to you the collection of your French marigold. 6 dies in this collection, and just to show you kind of the detail that you're going to be getting. So you've got all of those within there, and as you can see of the dies themselves, there's a different pack behind it. Nice sizable elements within there, great for layering up. And the makes that you can create, I mean, see how fantastical that kind of flower-formed detail is on that marigold. If you were to try and recreate that yourself without the dye, it would just be seriously time-consuming. And the thing that I think is amazing with these is it's not just the dye, it's actually giving you the texture on there as well. So at kind of the, not just at the end of each and every petal, but also further down towards the stamen, there's actually really lifelike texture, and I think that is so beautiful, and all of the dyes does it for you, kind of scores almost into it. It's a fabulous make. So if you do want those, all of that detail is on your screen. I have to say, for the amount of dyes you get, but also the workability of them, I would expect to pay quite a bit more than that if I was to guess. So do seize the moment if you fancy it. Let's go lunar with our lunar pastes now. We've had so many people already messaging in. I know you've got some questions and I will be asking them as we go. The lunar paste themselves is going to be your best friend if, like me, you're a bit of a sparkle hunter. I've got 3 different colours in this one for you. We have got your ice, your moonlight rose, and your moonlight sea there in the centre. So these are the pots. You can see, again, jam-packed. Check out the sparkle in the pot. I mean, the fact you can see all of that there is fantastic. But when you see how they can work with a stencil, that's when they go into their own. So you have got the Stellar Ice in the centre, your Moonlight Rose, and your Moonlight Sea here. And just look at that glossiness. These really are a bit of a magic project, and a bit of a magic product, sorry. I know a lot of you have already treated yourself to these, so if you do want to grab the final few, now is your chance to do so. Getting them together means that you're making a bigger saving, and we've got for you £16.49 or £24.99. 70% of the stock has gone on this product already, which should go to show you how popular this is. If you've never seen this product before, feel free to throw your questions at us. We will help you out where we can. So for now, seize the moment on those ones. If the shimmer is talking to you, you can treat yourself to those ones. It is all 3 of those colours for that 10% discount. let's get more creativity, shall we? We have got loads of you messaging in. Hello to Evelyn saying, I am definitely saving this show to rewatch it later. Thank you, Evelyn. Do enjoy that. Don't forget, you can, like, subscribe and play back our shows so that if you are loving any of these designs, and by the time you get your product in, you might have forgotten, watch back on this show and craft along with Jamie. We've got Barbara in saying that card was beautiful. Samantha is saying, wow, all really beautiful cards. We've got Jane asking a question about the chalk polish, which we'll get to that for you in a little bit, Jane, so do stick with us. For now, though, shall we be inspired more by Jamie? What are we up to now, my love?
Okay, we're going to stick with the metallic polishes for the next card as well, and this is the one that we're going to be working with. So we're going to go a bit pretty, and we're going to stick pretty much with the rose gold and the gold colours of the polishes. We're going to bring in our layers again. This one's going to use the carnation dye, and of course them beautiful butterflies, and we're going to vellum back them again, a bit like we did before. So to start off, what we're actually going to do is we're going to work on our card base. Now, I never do this. I don't know if I'm the only one who's going to confess this, but I never tend to actually colour the white base. I always work on layers and stick them on the top. And actually, working directly onto your card can be quite refreshing. So what I've got here is just an ordinary store-bought 8x8 card. I'm going to bring in one of my stencils that we have today for you. And again, you can tape this in place. I'm just not taping for speed, going completely rogue, but we have tape for you. You can, of course, tape them. I'm going to once again use a stipple brush, so I'm just changing to a different stipple brush. Same, we keep washing all of the others, don't think there's any difference between them. And I'm just going to stipple over the top of this. Now again, we don't need to see all of this. We're going to cover up quite a large chunk of this through the centre, so we can just go round the edges. And the reason I sort of want to do this live for you to see a bit of it is to show you how this stencil is really easy to match up, because I think that can be quite tricky sometimes when we look at stencils and we look at stamps and we don't realise that just because it's a certain size, like this one's a DL1, we tend to think that we are stuck to that and that we've got to stick in that size. We really don't have to. So all I'm going to do is pick it up, move it along just a small amount.
Oh, that's great.
Match up my pattern roughly. They might be slightly different top and bottom by now, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to go in again with our polish. We're going to pop so many bits on this card that if anyone's studying the background, we've done something wrong.
I love that. We've had a question actually about the metallic pot that you're using. Once open, how long do they last?
To be honest, as long as you look after them, they're absolutely fine. The trick here is to mist them with water. So it's a water-based product that's in your jar, and we've let the air get to it. So anything that's water-based, if you let air get to it, it's probably going to dry. So if you're going to come back to it in a short amount of time, and by that I mean probably any time within the next week, don't panic. It should be absolutely fine.
Great.
Because we're going to keep removing and playing with the product, so it's not going to have chance to set. If you're somebody who's going to pop it on the shelf, or you're going to go on holiday or anything else, just take a mister bottle and mist directly into the product a couple of times.
Ah, great.
The water, it's just ordinary tap water in my bottle, that will just keep the product fresh.
Brilliant.
If you forget to do this, which again I'm guilty of, I confess far too much in these cases, I'm guilty of that. I come back to them, and sometimes if it's dried a little bit, again, just mist with water, leave it to settle for a couple of hours, and being a water-based product, no different to like when you get watercolour paints in little palettes, the water will soak back in and it will become able to be used once more. The sponges or the applicators that come in the top of your pots, you can either do exactly the same with them and you can mist them with some water, exactly the same as I just did the product, or if you prefer, you can take them and wash them out between uses. I tend to take mine and wash them out. I was saying this morning, and I was desperately trying to think of the exact number, but I would say I've got somewhere in the region of about 120 different polishes. Yeah, Cosmic Shimmer, we're bringing you 6 today of the metallic ones. There's actually 46 now in the colour range.
Blimey.
Matte chalk polish, we've bought you a few of them. There's a lot more of them. There's a lot more glitter kiss. There's loads of these little jars. I think you've got a lot of them on your website.
We
and
do,
I know
absolutely.
That we keep bringing them to you, so
yeah,
you get
do
to
head
collect
on
them.
over.
But they're amazing. So about 120 of them.
That's great.
And at home, instead of keeping them as I'm showing them to you here with the applicators in the lid, I take out all the applicators, I wash them all through, I keep them in a big jar, and then I can stack all of my polishes on my shelves, and it just makes it a lot easier to store them.
That is ridiculously clever. I've never thought of doing that.
It's just easier to store them. And the sponges, and again, confessions, use your sponges for more than the polishes. These are really good applicators for working with all of your different paints and mediums. Don't ever think you have to keep them together. Just make sure you maintain your sponge or your applicator, wash them through when you need to. But they're brilliant, they're great fun.
Genius.
We keep saying, or keep asking, again, confessing away today, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. We keep asking for them to stock these as individual applicators because they're such good fun.
Yeah.
But it's just not possible because the way they come packed and made and all that lot. But we
ya.
do keep asking because they're just such a good little applicator for you to use. So don't feel once you've got that, you've got to use it just with your polish.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason why you have to.
Well, I suppose
Break
once your
them out.
polishes run out, you can keep them as well, can't you?
Oh, the jars. The things I put in the jars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly. Again, with these products, you can mix more into them. So if you wanted to, and we might get onto this a little later maybe, take two colours out, mix them together on a palette, use a clean, I even bought some clean sponges here somewhere, so that you can go in and pick that colour up and apply it. Don't look at them and think, I'm only getting 6 colours. Look at them and think, I've got 6 colours to build with. You've got 6 foundations here to play around with. And not only with your polishes, and I'm going to go off on different tangents here, I apologise.
I'm the same, don't worry.
Pixie Sparkles, Pixie Powders, Shimmer Shakers. These are all mica-based products that are activated by water. Again, I'm sure we'll bring them to you, or they'll be on the website. Mix some of that in with your polish. Don't do it in the jar, obviously. Again, I'm talking taking it out, doing it on a separate area. But mix those in and play around with them concoctions. The worst that will happen is you will waste a pea-size amount of polish and a pea-size amount of pixie powder. And in the grand scheme of things, they will cost you pennies.
Brilliant.
What you could create, and will create, I believe, is a whole host of new colours. And if you make too much of it, or you find one that you fall in love with, and you happen to have emptied one of your jars, store it in a jar. If, like me, you've run out of empty jars, use a grip seal bag or a little lunchbox box. They'll all store, it'll all work the same way, and then you can go back to them with your applicators, make your own concoctions.
Oh, what a brilliant tip. I love that. Hey, that's fab. I also liked your sort of, ooh, my precious impression with the jars were mentioned.
I love the jars, yeah, anything for a bit of storage. I literally, at the moment, I've got a bit of a collection going on.
I love
because
that.
I've had quite a lot of polished shows. So yeah, and they last a long time, but I do go through them.
That's
so
brilliant.
onto my card, as you can see, I've got 2 here. I'd already prepped one ready, but it doesn't matter which one. It's just a vintage style background. We're going to bring in one of our stitch squares. We're going to pop that on the top here. On top of the stitch square, we've done a scallop square. And again, it doesn't matter that this is messy. Nobody's going to see it. It's just there to give you an idea. We're then going to bring in another panel, and I've already gone ahead. I should have there is another panel. So many panels today, let me find the right one. So we're going to use a white layer to break this one up. We're going to bring in our glue once again, pop that on. That'll cover up our messy layers. There we go. And then we're going to bring in our foam pad layer. So this one again is one of our stitch squares, which I've cut out. I've used the same stencil on it, and I've already gone ahead and put my word in place. And then we're going to bring in our circles from our layer dies. Now the circles, because of these, once again, are a die which will stay in your cardstock. I've used one of my scallop squares to actually cut round it. So we've got the filigreyness of the edges from the scallop squares and the detail from the circles. And we're going to pop that on the top here. We're then going to go on to our flowers. So this time we're going to use the layered carnation flower that we have on today's show. We've got 2 today, haven't we? We've got the layered carnation and the French marigolds. This is the first time I'm showing you the layered carnation. This one again has really nice embossed lines on it. So you've got sort of 4 lines running down each petal. If we wanted to shape this, and you've got your tweezers, and you want to go in, and I did this with you earlier, and sort of crimple the edges, that looks really nice as well. But what we're going to do first of all is colour it. So we're going to go back to our stipple brush, we're going to go back to our rose gold polish, and we're literally going to take this and just pop it against the edges of the petals. Now using a stipple brush instead of the applicator means that we're going to get these sort of dots coming in down the petals, which just gives it a bit more of a vintage effect and a little less perfection with the applicator. Because it's a round sponge, you're more likely to get an exact start-stop mark. With a stipple brush, you're going to get more blended effects. Once we have done that, to shape these ones, I'm going to bring in a paintbrush. And we're just going to hold the petal and we're going to squeeze it around each time around the end of a paintbrush. You could use a pokey tool if you want to, but we're just going to cup each one of our petals so that we have a bit of dimension to them and a bit of shape. And I've already jumped ahead and I've done a few of these and I've layered them together. So we've got several layers going on with our flowers. So I've already done that for us so that they're ready to go on. And we're going to bring in our glue and pop a few of these in place. So pop one there, we'll go one above. We're going to go in one just slightly lower. I just wanted to leave the circles open. I wanted you to see the pattern, but I also wanted to have that sort of extra detail of the flowers. We're then going to bring out some more glue, and I've done exactly the same with my leaves. So I'm just going to dip these into a bit of glue and post them coming out of the flowers. Working around here. I get a bit carried away with the foliage. I said this morning. The flower displays are something I really enjoy doing, so we could be here forever just watching me play with flowers.
Oh, I love that.
I'm going to add in these ones over this side as well. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the one we did earlier. It's not a problem, or the example card. It's just a concept. It's just an idea for you. And then for our butterflies, once again, we have gone in for some vellum. So I have vellum on the underneath of these. So show you how to glue these together before.
Yeah.
We have our vellum, which has been coloured with a rose gold. We have our actual butterfly, which has been coloured with the gold. And then we've gone for white bodies and white antennae on these ones. And again, we're going to put some glue onto these and pop them down.
Oh, that's
leaving
impact.
the wings to sort of be a bit 3D.
Oh.
And then we'll add a bit more glue onto this one. And we're going to pop this one coming up in that top circle. And again, I think I might be pushing my boundaries to lift this one up, but we'll give it a whirl. The worst that can happen is they fall off, but I've warned you they might.
Oh, look at
And I'll
that.
stand up the original as well for you, just so you can see that's
Wow.
sort of where we were aiming and what we ended up for.
This is incredible. I do not envy you at home who has to vote for demo of the show, because these are incredible, right? If you do want to treat yourself, absolutely do grab them whilst you have the opportunity to do so. You saw that we used the wonderful dyes within this to create the detail, but also we have used some of the polishes. Now, let's have a stock update. Crikey me. That is all I need to say. Crikey me is how we have explained the stock on this. That is Johnny, my producer's official wording on it. Crikey me. So if you do want to seize the moment, I would definitely say now's probably a better time as any. You are going to be getting the 6 metallics, should I say, the polishes, and you are getting all of these wonderful colours, including your petrol blue, my and Jamie's fave, the rose gold, the carmine red, the tarnished gold, the green dragon, and the pure silver there at the end. And as you can see, they're against black and white, and they're absolutely beautiful. So if you do want to grab them, now is definitely a chance to do so at $32.99 or $49.99. Let's have a bit of a recap if we can. So we have got for you loads of treats and goodies already. These ones we're going to show you are the Sue Wilson Square Collection. You're getting 37 elements within here, and you're getting all of those lovely stitch edges, etc. Then I've got for you the Hexagon and Rick Rack in the die set. 2 elements here. Just to remind you on these ones, you're looking at just over 12 centimetres by 12 centimetres in size, so really nice and usable. $27.99 or $47.99 for those 2. As well as that, I've got the scalloped squares and the stitched squares. So these you can use, lay different ones, and you've got that lovely nesting opportunity. Big percentage of those ones gone. It's now 60% gone. So again, please do seize the moment. I really do hope we've got enough left over for 6, although Jamie's dance moves I'm sure will be very entertaining. Let's also bring for you today 40% left on these ones, 40% on those stamps. I've got your clear stamp set with the love squares as well, and the love mail, $11.99 or $13.95. Then I've got some stencils. We worked with some of these stencils on that previous card. 50% gone now, so your opportunity to grab them is halved. They're just $6.99 or $8.75 for the two of those. As well as that, I have got your matte chalk polish. Four different colours here for you, as you can see. And same sort of applicator as with the gilding polishes. We'll chat to you about these a little bit more later. And then you have gone loopy for the Luna. We do not have a huge amount of this left over, so please do seize the moment if you want to grab them. We're looking at $16.49, $24.99. I am well aware that there are loads of things on this show right now that you fancy getting your hands on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to check out your basket, so that then you can sit back, relax, and then we'll be able to give you really nice up-to-date stock updates. So you find what you fancy, pop it in your shopping cart, check out your baskets, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Make light work of intricate and delicate die-cutting designs with the Pokey Tool from Crafter's Companion. An absolute essential part of any paper crafter's kit, its precise tip has been designed to release the tiniest pieces to reveal your finished results with absolute precision. And to make sure your finished project is perfect, each Pokey Tool has a rubber tip protector, so there's no risk of damaging your die-cutting design or yourself. The Crafter's Companion Pokey Tool is such an essential craft item, we've included 2 in each set.
Quick Buy, get yours now.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. It's lovely to have you with us today, and we are having a fabulous day. There are so many wonderful messages coming in. Evelyn's saying, I think we need to have Jamie come back very soon and do some tips and trick shows. Love that idea. Hadassah's saying, I adore this card, capital letters. Left-handed crafter is saying, very cool on your tips and techniques. LaQuenta is saying, loved that last card. Anastasia is saying, this is a great price for all three. I have totally gone above and beyond my budget. Johnny, I need you to call my husband and explain that to him if that's all right. She says, yeah. He says, yeah, not a problem. We have got loads and loads more treats coming up. So I want to remind you about the Carnation Craft Die, which Jamie himself has just used. 12 elements within this. And as you saw, you get lovely detail. And if you see in the die, oh, I don't want to blind you, give me a second, there you go. So you can see now all of those elements that etch into it and give an emboss when you lead it through. And these are the types of overall looks that you can create. It's exceptional, isn't it? So if you do want to seize the moment on that one, you get all of those dice to create these really lovely 3D effects. So you can grab those ones. Another one that people have been loving is the Lunas. And the Lunas, you're getting the 3 different colours, mix and match. Oh, wrong way. Oh, no, that. There we go. We have got for you. I was a bit like that, Kate, we were talking about then. Where's the ball? Nobody knows. Let me show you the different colours you're getting. Your Moonlight Rose, you're getting your Stellar Ice, and you're getting your Moonlight Sea. And you have got that wonderful gleam with these. Speaking of gleam, hello to Jennifer Dawn Smith. Oh, lovely name. Lovely to have you on board with us. Asking, Jamie, what is the difference between the metallic gilding polish and the luster polish?
Okay, well, actually in their makeup, the difference is really quite simple. It's down to the size of mica that we put in them. So with the luster Lunar paste, sorry, not luster, Lunar paste. These ones have really large chunks of mica in them. That's the bit that's giving you that glitzy finish. And then obviously with our metallic polishes, this is more of a pearl finish. So the mica in them, but it's a lot more ground down to give you that sort of light shimmer instead. What I can do actually is show you a couple of techniques with both of them, if that's all right. That might be more fun.
We'd love that, please.
So we'll come to the card that we're going to do in a moment, I'm sure. But something, because we're not going to use these that much, so we'll play around with them a little bit. So we're going to take our Lunar paste. Now this, of course, is a texture paste. So for any of you that don't know what that usually means, it means that we would take a stencil and we would take our texture paste on a palette knife, and we'll just do a small amount of this, and we would go through our stencil with it. Now, I really could go off actually on quite a lot of tangents now, because we can do that with this product, and at a later stage we're going to be showing you how we can do the same with our metallic polish. But as we're sort of comparing them and going rogue completely.
Oh, I love a bit of rogue.
We might as well go rogue now, mightn't we?
Yeah, why not? Ooh.
So we're going to...
This just in, news just in. Lunar paste is officially limited stock.
I'm not surprised.
Officially limited. That means we've hardly got any left, so do seize the moment.
So exactly the same. This time we're going to go in with our metallic polish. So again, one's telling you it's a texture paste, one's telling you it's not a texture paste, which is why I'm trying to show you both can be used in that way if you want them to be.
That's cool.
So we're going to go on with our see, even I'm up to it now.
Hey,
this is our metallic polish, and we're going to pop that down there, just so you can see that we can do the same with both. We're then going to remove our stencil, and you can see that both work in that format.
Whoa.
So if you want to use them in the same way, you can do. So although we're trying to highlight the differences, we're sort of showing you more the similarities. We can also use them both with a paintbrush. So again, if we go in with the Lunar one to begin with, and go and think about covering our cardstock, we can literally take this and apply it with a paintbrush. Now, obviously, I'm heading for quite a chunky finish this time, but it's quite nice because it's still fine, it's still detailed, it's not going to be in the way. And you could use your paintbrush like this one, or if you wish to, this might be dirty because I used it earlier with some blue and I haven't yet cleaned it, don't tell anyone. But you can do the same with your ultrafine brushes. You can blend this across to make that effect. Obviously, we know now that we can take our metallic polish and we can use our applicator to apply it. Well, as I mentioned, if you have your spare applicators and you wish to, you could bring out some of your product, pop this onto a mat, bring in an applicator exactly the same as we would do with our polishes, and just trying to find a clear piece of card. We can take this and we can put it down over the card in exactly the same way. When we talk, and this is quite nice actually, this is something completely different. Here we're seeing the two layered together.
Yeah.
So we've got the rose gold going in with a metallic, and then we've got the moonlight rose going in from the lunar and sitting one on top of the other.
That's lovely.
That looks really lovely.
It does,
doesn't it?
yeah.
That's really nice. Even I hadn't thought of that one, but it looks
Yeah,
good.
no, it looks great.
Again, similar idea. If we go on to our embossed card, we can either do the same with our applicator, if you've got the spare polishes, or spare ones of these, or you've cleaned out the ones you've got. Or another idea we can do is we can take this out, we can put it onto our tile or onto a glass mat, and we can pick it up with a brayer.
Hey.
And a brayer is a really good friend for texture pastes because it just gives you more use out of them. So again, we can take that and we can brayer it directly over the top here. And again, because a brayer is a hard surface, it's not going to go into any of the nooks and crannies of our embossing. So it can really go over the top and give you a nice finish. I'm also going to go across this bottom bit here and just show you that if you wanted to use your brayer on flat cardstock to apply it, you can do that as well.
That's great.
So hopefully, although we are talking two very different products, we're talking of a texture base and we're talking of a metallic polish, you can see that actually we can break them down and use them in a lot of the same ways.
Yeah.
So it's more about the finish you wish to achieve with them. Whether you want the full-on mica that you're going to re-receive in the lunar, or whether you would like the more metallic pearl that you're going to get within the polish.
Will you give that
It's up
another
to you.
little shimmy for me?
I've dropped it just as we got there, didn't I?
Oh, look at that!
And then
It's
if I bring
incredible.
in, so we're really going off tangent, aren't we? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I
Take
love it,
your
I
road.
do.
Then we'll bring back the gold
look.
on the polish. So that's obviously a bit more vintage, obviously just a very pearly finish. And then if we bring back in our lunar again, you can see the differences between them. So it's just down to what finish you want.
Yeah.
But it's not the same product. I won't insult the chemists that we have worked for Cosmic Shimmer who work tirelessly to bring us different products. But if you want to use them in similar ways, you certainly can do. So hopefully that answers the question in a roundabout kind of way.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's fab, that, isn't it? If you do have more questions, do throw them at us. I know that you've got some questions, people. Like I know Jennifer, you've got one, and there was someone earlier on, Jane. You've got questions about products we're going to do when we come up. So once they come up, then we'll ask those. For now, just to let you know, limited stock on Luna, metallic gilding polishes. You're getting the 6 different colours, and okay, yeah. 50% of the stock has gone on that one as well. Okay, so if you do fancy them, now is your chance. You're getting all 6 of those colours. But as I said, the Lunar Paste is now officially limited stock, so it means that we've basically got a handful of it left. You can still seize the moment though. Head on over to our website and grab what you fancy whilst you can. On those ones. So yes, we have got for you next up the continuation of our fabulous card. So
never really started this one, did
well,
we?
no, we didn't. But I thought I'd say continuation, just because then it makes us both look more professional, like we followed the plan. We've gone off script, though, haven't we?
I will corrupt you.
I love it.
It's not going to work, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
I love it.
This is the card we're going to do. It's very simple, it's very quick, and I
gorgeous.
think that's actually quite nice because it shows you how simple you can bring the products together. It doesn't have to be complicated. So we're going to whiz through this one. We're literally going to take a panel, which we've already done our polish around the sides of. So again, that could have been our Luna, could have been our matte chalk if you'd prefer a completely flat finish. We haven't really spoke about them, have we? But the matte chalk ones are a completely flat version. So there's no shimmer, there's no glitz in those.
Yeah.
So if you just want a more subtle finish, then that's absolutely fine. It's one of the things we do really well at Cosmic Shimmer. We sort of have every finish for every style you might want to work in. So whether it's sort of shabby chic and vintage, or full-on glitz, or sort of a middle line in sort of between it all, we've sort of got a product for you in that field.
That's cool.
So we're then going to bring in another white layer. I'm going to pop that on top. Then we're going to go for another one of our embossed panels. So this one is the quilted pillow. So our embossing folders are 3D, which means we've got that real nice depth to them again. So like when I go over the top of it with a brayer, or if I want to use texture paste in them, that's something I never show you actually. I might go rogue again.
Oh.
We're going to pop that down. I keep talking about this and I feel I haven't actually explained it at any stage of today. So let's do it because I'll forget again. So again, with your lunar paste, if you take a stencil, not a stencil, sorry, a 3D embossing folder, normally we would work on the front, which is obviously the dome side of it.
Yeah.
So when I braided over the top, that's what I did. This time we're going to turn it over. We're going to work on the back of it. I'm going to do a very old technique called grouting. I can't take credit for it. It's nothing to do with me. It's one I've seen and I've pinched. I can't remember, to be 100% honest with you, where I see it, or if not, I'd credit them. But it's been around a long time. Just take your texture paste, pop it onto your applicator or your palette knife, and just go down across the top of the card. Now you will, or with this product, you will notice that you're going to colour the areas in the middle slightly pink, but because we're taking all of the bulk of the product and we're popping it into the troughs that we've created, we're literally grouting like when you do tiling. This is literally like popping the grout in between the tiles.
That's fab.
And when this dries, you're going to obviously have much high-end glitter or glitz coming through from them large shards of mica within the petals or within the parts of the tile, and then a soft pink going over the other areas. Now, because of, again, the top will still be higher, if you then wanted to brayer another colour over the top, or take an ink pad and rub it over the top, so that you colour this light pink a different shade, so the inset pink pops, you can do that if you want to.
Clever.
Okay.
And I suppose because it's the light pink, it's from the actual element itself. It tonally works really nicely, actually,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So yeah, if you wanted to leave it as you
great.
see it, that wouldn't be a problem either. Because of the products are quite moist, one thing I would recommend is you don't linger too long, because of the longer you linger, the more the card is going to start to take on the moisture, and then as you're scraping across the top, you're going to start flattening the card, because the minute it's got moisture in it, obviously it's going to be more pliable. So if you can put it on quite quickly and apply it with a credit card, or like I did a palette knife, that will help you just get it into the recesses quicker.
Great tip.
Okay, we're going to go back to where we was, and I promise I'll stay online for at least a second. So we're going to go back to our layered carnations, and we're going to build up some flowers. So again, I've done exactly the same as I did, so I don't want to repeat it. I've just coloured the ends with a stipple brush, and I've wrapped them around a paintbrush to give them some depth. That's giving them that sort of cupped look. If you would prefer to cup them going up the other way instead, so more of a dome, feel free to. You don't have to have them in the direction I've done them. And then we're going to bring in some glue. I'm going to pop that out just onto my tile just so I can dip in some leaves. The leaves again are with our green polish, which I believe, and here I go desperately trying to remember off the top of my head, I think it's called Green Dragon, isn't it?
It is, yeah, 10 points.
Honestly, there are so many colour names, and I try my best to remember them. There are so many. So we'll just pop in a few of these. We don't have to do all of them.
And it is a really lovely dragony colour, because it does feel quite mystical.
Absolutely, and team this with a blue, and you've got some proper drama going on there.
Yeah.
You know, they're really lovely colours. Or if you want to, I keep mentioning the Christmas word today. I expect when I get home and see sort of the feed of comments, because obviously I can't read that as well, there's going to be a lot of people saying, why does he keep talking to Christmas? But I do love the idea of Christmas cards and Christmas crafting. So yeah, that'd be obviously very good for that too.
Definitely.
We're then going to bring in our word cherish, which again has been cut from white cardstock, but it's been polished with the same rose gold. And we're just going to pop a bit of glue out on my hand for this. I don't always recommend this. I sometimes get told off for it because of you should do a bit of a patch test before you start putting glue on your skin. But I've been doing this for years and I'm still here. So we're going to roll with it. And we're going to pop our cherish down on here.
Oh, that's great.
Now, I will be honest with you, there should be a little dot to go above the eye. The die does cut an eye dot.
Yes.
I can't find it. It's somewhere on here.
That's
so
all right,
please
yeah.
forgive me. But I will hold up the finished example just so you can see. Real simple, real, you know, easy, elegant card for you to do and play around with your different colours or polishes or lunar pastes to create the same effect.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's impossible not to be inspired with this, right? There are so many people absolutely adoring this. Gwen is saying that is an awesome technique using that stencil. We have got Pammy saying this is gorgeous. We've got Patty in saying I will definitely be saving this show to watch it back since I've missed the first half. I love Comic Shimmer and Creative Expression lines so much. Fran's in saying I'm loving the show today. Thank you. There's lots of you in. You're asking some questions. I'll read through them in a moment and then I'll fling them at Jamie. Before it though, as we've mentioned them, let's talk about our matte chalk polishes. We've got 4 different colours in this collection and they give you, as Jamie mentioned earlier on, this mattified effect. You can use it on different coloured cards, and what I'm about to show you is an element of it on white cards and an element of it on the black card as well. The different colours we're bringing to you are honeydew, custard, wisteria and sky blue. Those are your different colours, and again same sort of applicator as earlier. We did have a question in about these from Jane. Jane was asking, a bit of a strange question, but do the chalk polishes feel like chalk?
No. It's a good question. There's nothing wrong with the question. Just trying to think, the chalky finish when they're dry? No, not really. No, they're just quite smooth. It's more because of how they react and how they look is more a chalky look to them, not actually the feel. So no, I don't believe so, Jane, personally.
Yeah,
I
no.
hope that helps.
It feels, oh, do you know what I was going to say, which is ridiculous? I was like, oh, it feels a lot like our work surfaces in here. But Jane, you're not here, and I'm well aware of it. So find a work surface near you, and it might feel like that. We have got for you £22.49 or $33.99. Again, you've got that 10% discount on this, so do seize the moment. Let's chat about the squares, shall we, which I've actually left over there. So I'll show you a picture, run off and grab them, and then the magic of TV will be restored. Have a little look at this lovely card. We have got for you today the brilliant squares. Now, these ones that we're bringing to you, you've got the opportunity here to be able to mix, match and create wonderful designs. I mean, check this out with those 3D flowers, just how exceptional they are. I want to remind you that with workable elements like this, they're always going to be popular, so they are always going to be selling pretty quickly, which is why 50% of the stock has gone, 60% of the stock has gone on this. Let me just remind you what we're bringing in here. I've got some circle apertures, I've got some hexagons apertures, I've got the square apertures, I've also got the finishing touches. So you've got things in here like the birthday kazoo and the bow and the little hat and the crown, and this here is like a lovely piece of cake, and we've all got textures on it, which is really snazzy. I've also got happy wishes, a gift, make a wish, and for you as well. If you do want those ones, 60% of the stock gone. Now, it is a brilliant show that we're having with loads and loads of goodies. One of the items that we started off with was an item that Jamie helped create himself. It is our canvas collection, and we're bringing to you the octagons first off. So with your octagons, we have got for you a selection of your dies, 10 of them in total. And what they create is, well, a canvas style effect that you can make solid or hollow, all just by using the dies that are in the collection. So if you haven't seen these before, because like the lovely lady earlier on who's watching back on us, you missed the first half, it was Patty. Let me just give you an idea, Patty, of some of the creations that you can make with this. So these, as you see, layering them up, using them as different elements, you're creating really nice kind of eye-catching designs. I've got to show you this one as well, because look, you can use your stencils over the top of them so that the canvas becomes a canvas, which I think is really, really, really special. Just look at that. Oh wow, I did a proper floor then. And yes, as you can see, you can use it with lots of different stamps elements too, and have a really good time with those ones. If you do want the octagons, now be your chance. You've got your graphics on screen for that. I've also got another shape for you, which is your hexagon shape. Same situation in the fact that you can use these as a bold or hollow them out if you wish. Let me just move that so it doesn't glare at you. There you go. So with these ones, again, you've got that wonderful hexagon shape in its design, and yes, it's when these are cutting out for you, the dies give all of your score lines so that you don't have to be messing around with, you know, your scoreboards, your rulers and all the rest of it. So it really does make your life loads easier to get all of those dies and all of your sentiments as well, because you get Dream with that one too. It is just $22.99 or $39.49. That's not all that we have on the show for you though. We have some fabulous stamp sets. Let's have a little nosy, Roo, as a bit of a reminder. So first things first with this stamp set, I'm going to be bringing to you those wonderful dragonflies dancing around. I've got the butterflies in there as well as the roses. These are really lovely with the different textures in there. News just in, 50% gone on these ones. You get all three of them. So please, please, some of this stock we are officially in limited stock on now. And so I will just say to you, if there's anything that's nattering to you, it's worth grabbing it now. Don't forget, Jamie is coming back later on. He's going to be with us in the 6 o'clock show, which is 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern. I will just let you know, though, that in all honesty, some of the items may well have sold out by then. So I'd rather forewarn so that you are forearmed. So do feel free to grab them whilst you can. Shall we head on back over to Crafter's Corner with Jamie? What are we up to?
Okay, so what I thought we would do at this point is talk to you about different uses for your polishes. So we're going to be doing it with the metallic polishes, but this also applies to your lunar paste as well as your matte chalk polishes. We're actually going to be stamping with them, which is a bit of a fun technique we can do. We're going to start off by working on the background, and we're going to make that pinstripe effect that we have in the back to give a sort of vintage feel to the project. So I have just a piece of white card here. This is just our foundations white card, but any white card will be fine. We're going to go in for our polishes, and this time we're going to be using the red. We're also going to be using our lovely rose gold again, and we're also going to bring in the pure silver. So we're going to start off with the pure silver. And we're going to load up our applicator once again. We'll do the other side of it as well. So we've got a nice coverage on here. And we're just going to start by randomly bringing down a few lines. Now, if you wanted to, that stencil tape that we have on today's show in the Essential Bundle, I believe it's called, you could mark these off. And you could have these as perfect pinstripes if you prefer. Ooh. I really quite like just being a bit vintage with mine. So a bit more mixed media, I suppose. So feel free to experiment, see how you get on.
Is that your style in general, the quite sort of vintage free form, or do you change dependent on mood?
Very much change dependent on mood. Yeah, nothing ever really flows to much of a continuation of theme, really.
Right.
I like a little bit of everything, I suppose.
Yeah.
There are people who I really admire who are very clean and simple, and then there are people like Andy Skinner, who's one of our designers at Creative Expressions, who's very dark and vintage and mixed media and skulls and all of that side of life, and I really like that too. So yeah, left to my own devices as such, I try to bring in a little bit of everything, I suppose.
That's great, that's really nice.
I find it, I've had this conversation a few times, I find it strange when people stick to only one line of craft, and this is no insult to anyone who does, and if you're happy there, that's of course absolutely brilliantly. But a singer doesn't only sing one type of song, a chef doesn't only cook one type of food.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
as a crafter do I only have to make one type of card?
Yeah, it's nice to play, isn't it?
Yeah,
play
around, experiment, see what you come up with. You might not like it, or you might not go back to it, but don't ever feel you've got to be pigeoned into one style of craft.
Totally.
Because I think that's quite dangerous.
No, that's a good tip, that.
Now what we're going to do is just keep blending the colours, building them up, making our pinstripe backgrounds. Again, when we talk about this being pearl card in a jar, this, you know, pearl card would be one shade normally, and we would just have it as you see it. With this, we can blend our colours, especially if we're going in with the lighter colours over the top. Even over the top of the silver, the rose gold will shine through, and we're still going to get that more peachy colouring come through. Really layer them as much or as little as you wish to, add on as much or as little product as you like. We'll carry on going to the end here. So we've made our full sheet. Now this again will have its mica shimmer to it because it's our pearl product. our metallic product. So once again, we've got that shimmer. Yeah, when we look at it flat, it looks quite stripy, but when we actually pick it up and we give it a bit of a wiggle, and you see all that shimmer come through, that's when we know that we've got some magic going on, isn't it?
I love that.
So we're going to pop that one to one side because that's still a little bit wet. And we're going to do a bit of a brave technique to do live. We're going to stamp with them. Now this is something I would say practice. Practice makes perfect, and some days I do this and it comes out brilliantly, and other days it's not quite as wonderful. So I'm going to bring in a panel I've already got that's dry. We're going to pop that down, and we're going to pop our magnets in place on the top to hold it. I may well wish to do a secondary stamp, so it's nice to have quite a bit of area, or I may well wish to repeat the stamp over the top of it. So we're going to pop that down, roughly in the middle, and we're going to pick it up on the lid. And I'm trying to think of a colour. We've done red on the project, but I might go, let's go gold because it'll be different, and I can show you the red and the gold.
Great.
So we'll go for the gold, exactly the same again. We're going to build up our polish on our applicator, and then we're going to bring our applicator over to our stamp, and we're going to just pounce over the top of the stamp, just covering all of the clear stamp with our product. Now don't forget, this is a quick drying product, so we want to try and work as quick as we can, but there is a bit of a tip to this that can help.
Okay.
So once you've covered over your stamp how you wish to, and you feel you've got enough, bring in just an ordinary mister bottle again and just mist over the top. Try not to do too much water because we don't want it to be too much of a blurry image.
Yes.
And then bring it back and add your pressure to stamp your image. If I've added a bit too much water, it might come out a bit blurry, so our secondary stamp might be slightly nicer. We can of course add another layer of product and redo it. So we'll hold that down.
If you do want the mister
we'll lift
bottle.
that off.
Ooh, wow.
So that's not too bad actually.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
would probably quite like a little bit more down here.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that again just on that area, just to build that up.
If you do want that mister bottle, it is available on show as part of the accessory pack. It comes with glue and it comes with stencil tape as well.
This is one of the reasons I love a stamp press like this, because we can't really go wrong, because we can go back and just keep adding until we're happy. And again, if you wanted to, bring in other colours. So if we had added the blue on this time instead of the gold, and multi-stamped in different colours, build up our layers, that can look really nice as well. So I actually quite like that. Hopefully you can see that. That's coming out. Oh, there we go. That's
brilliant.
a better view for you, isn't it? So we have that in gold. Should we add some blue to it?
Yes, please.
Should we do that?
Yeah,
Why
the
not?
new petrol blue. Yeah.
You might see it a bit clearer on camera as well. So we'll go for some petrol blue, and we'll add that over the top. So add this. And you don't have to do all of it. So maybe you only want to highlight the flowers, or maybe you just want to add in the postage elements with the blue. We'll go for all of it and see how we get on, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So we'll add in again a bit more water. We'll bring that back and we'll stamp that over the top. Now I don't want it to cover all of it. Oh, that's quite lovely.
That's gorgeous. And you can see the gold peeping through.
I'm going to give this off and we'll give that a bit of a wiggle so you can hopefully see it. So yeah, as you mentioned, Becky, you've got the gold there, you've got the blue, and you've got the background coming through from all of our original colours. So the only one that hasn't been used on this project is the green.
That looks stunning.
Which, had we wanted to, we could have put on the leaves, obviously, and that would look quite nice. So we'll pop that to one side.
I love that.
And we'll pop these out the way. Now, I've already got ones I've done, so I've got some just red ones here. I've got a couple of different impressions. I think I prefer this one slightly because it's a bit more vintage. So we're going to pop that off to one side. We're going to bring in some glue, and we're going to add this onto our card. For the card, once again, I've got the pure silver for my layer at the top here, and I've got the rose gold on the one beneath, so that the colours are still matching in with the layers I'm applying. And then I've been a bit naughty, I'm going to bring in a rectangle die this time. This is another one of Sue's Noble dies. We may well have this on the website, or again, hopefully we'll bring it next time we come to you.
That's great.
But it's another one of her designs. I'm going to pop that on the top. And then this time we're going to add the word cherish again at the bottom, and I've deliberately not added the eye, or the dot to the eye. I've gone rogue. It's a bit like the antennae on a butterfly. Yeah. You know, sometimes they make the cut, other days they don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we're going to just pop some glue across this one, and then we're going to bring that in and pop it floating across that bar at the bottom there. And there we go. There's our card.
Oh, just
and I'll bring in the original as well.
That is incredible, isn't it? Thank you so much for showing us that. It just looks great. Loads of you, again, messaging in. I love this technique. Absolutely gorgeous card. Another fab card. Gilmore's saying, this is cool. Marsha's saying, I mix styles as well, Jamie. Gilmore's saying, stunning. Dana's saying, love the blue. Susie's saying, OMG, W-O-W. Gwen is saying, OMG, that's gorgeous. Terry's saying, definitely saving this show to watch it again. There are so many of you. Adassa's saying, my word, Jamie is amazing. Gwen saying, loving this technique. There is just so much love coming in for you right now. There's been a lot of love going on as well with these little beauties, the ye olde Lunar paste. I would just say, like, don't look at them, they've gone. They're just, I don't want to hurt you, but sorry if you missed out. They are a sell-out now. But as always, big round of applause to everyone who managed to get them. As you saw, some of the techniques you can do with the metallic polishes are similar to that of the Lunar. So if you did want to treat yourself to a little bit of that extra shimmer, here is your chance to do so. It's your metallic gilding polishes. You're getting 6 different colours in here, as you can see, and you can see the boldness of colour, but also the shring from that wonderful green that you get within it too. Platinum price on this is just £26.39 or $39.99, which is incredible. I want to give you a stock update. 60% on this. It's gone. It's out the door. So it's definitely worth you treating yourself if you had your eye on it, because do you remember when we had 60% of the Lunar paste left? Yeah. We don't anymore. If you do want to grab them, now is definitely your chance. We're going into a break now already. I know that your questions are coming through. I'll be firing them at Jamie as we come back. We're going to have a little stock update to let you know where we are up to. We've got more creativity, more demonstrations, more of fabulous Jamie, so don't you go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila, an amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet.
The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. It's lovely to be with you today. Loads of you getting in touch with your questions, so I'm going to pop some of those to Jamie right here, right now. Hello again, Jamie. How are you?
Good, thank you. You?
Good. Oh, you're getting so many wonderful comments through, you really are. Jennifer has asked, I have the metallic polish and the luster polish from Cosmic Shimmer. I just wanted to know the difference between these two, the bubblegum, razzmatazz, etc., on the show in the luster polish. Can you please tell me, basically?
That's absolutely no problem at all. So I mentioned earlier we do an awful lot of different polishes at Cosmic Shimmer. They all come in similar jars, which does sometimes make it a little bit bamboozling. But your metallic ones are the ones we're using today, so they're going to be like your flat pearl card in a jar. The luster polishes that you mentioned, they have large shards of mica in them already. So in a similar sense to what we're talking about with our lunar paste, it's a polished version of lunar paste. So again, when you want a bit more sparkle and a bit more glitz, then that's when you're going to bring in your lunar paste. We then do another polish after that one, which is called Glitter Kiss, which is a full-on glitter in a jar with a clear medium. But again, it comes in the same jar. So there is a whole family. When you start collecting them, you're just going to want them all.
That's brilliant. I love that. Another question in. Jamie, do you recommend buffing the gilding polish like you might do with the Pebeo gilding wax?
Do you know, I think I might be slightly blind, because if you read the packaging, I believe, and I could lie to you and tell you I've read this, it's a bit like when you get a flat pack and you never actually read the instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Till you've built it and you realise that the doors are upside down and the back isn't on it and you should have done that in step 5.
Yeah.
I think it probably does tell you on here somewhere that you can buff them, and it certainly wouldn't harm them. But whenever I've tried, I can't tell the difference. To me, it's so shiny to begin with that I don't feel I'm gaining anything other than a little workout. And as I'm well against going to the gym, I don't bother. But you can do. If you feel that you can see a difference and it's me that's being blind, then feel free to. It certainly won't hurt it.
I love it. Thank you for that. We've got a question in. Is Jamie going to demo the Glitter Kiss products? Now, we've not got it in today, have we, Jamie?
We haven't, I'm afraid, and I don't even have any with us. So there's not a lot I can do to show you that one. What I can tell you, and it is worth mentioning if that's okay,
Go ahead.
Just give me 1 second and I promise I won't waffle forever. With Glitter Kiss, so with our traditional polishes like these ones, they are a different medium. I know, as I mentioned, they come in the same jar, so it gets a bit confusing. With these ones, we build up one layer and we just go straight on and we have our colour applied. And you can just build that up straight off and you've got your shade there. I've gone for the lightest colour to show you, that's helpful, isn't it?
It's a lovely colour.
Matte chalks are always quite challenging to show on telly at the best of times. But yeah, brushed across, you've got your one colour. With Glitter Kiss, what you do is you do exactly the same as I just did. Build up your ramp on the bottom, cover the applicator and go down vertically. Let that dry if you can and twist your card 90 degrees and then go down the other way. Let that one dry, twist again and go down 90 degrees. And if you do that about 5 times, the glitter will start building up. Basically, the clear medium that holds the glitter in place will set, and as you keep moving and going round and round in circles, it will start attracting more and more glitter, and you will end up with a complete sheet of glitter card. You might be thinking, why don't I just go and buy a glitter card? But we go back to all the techniques I've been talking about, whereby you can hook them out and mix them with water and paint with them. You can brush them against the tips of your flowers. You can stamp with them. The Glitter Kiss does all of them things for you as well. So again, it's like glitter card in a jar. It's just a little bit more time consuming to build it up, and once you have it, it looks amazing. Also, it makes a really good texture paste for your stencils.
Ooh, great
Really,
tip.
because it's ultra fine glitter. It looks amazing.
Got you. I love that. Cindy is in saying, How large are the openings of the Sue Wilson apertures, please? Wondering what things might fit in them.
If we bring in a circle now, I should have a rule somewhere. Are centimetres okay? It's a newfangled ruler, I'm afraid. So we are 4.5 centimetres, or just over, maybe 4.7 centimetres. So slightly under 2 inches, I believe, if I'm going to go out there on a limb. So slightly under 2 inches across there on the circle, to give you an idea. If we was to bring in the smaller layer, which obviously fits on the inside of that, and we give that a bit of a measure to give you a idea, that one's 3.5 centimetres, going from one point to the other. If we bring in the square, if I do these, and I'll just tell you the outside bit, because I'm sure you've got the idea. So that one is literally 2 inches. And if we lastly bring in our hexagon, because this one's the smallest, and this one is 3.7. And don't forget, obviously, we do have the smaller layers you can use inside all of them.
That's great, that's perfect. I hope that helps you, thanks very much. We have got Scrap Paper Scissors in, hello to you, my love, saying, what kind of cardstock would you suggest to use with sort of Cosmic Schiller paste, etc.?
We have our own brand of cardstock. It's called Foundations Card. It varies from 160 to, I believe it's 240 GSM. That's another one of them things I struggle to keep up with. But it all varies on colour. That's brilliant. But to be honest with you, I try to be honest. I can't think of a single cardstock you couldn't use them on.
Yeah.
Last week I was actually doing tea bag folding, which is something hopefully we'll be bringing you here at some point, with the polishes, and I was doing it on top of copier paper. So literally the same copier paper that you would put in your printer, and actually taking the polishes and putting them on top of this, and that will work just as well. So you don't even have to be on top of a card. Oh, try and hold your paper while you work with it. If not, you might get a bit of a crease. But yeah, you can apply your polishes exactly the same over the top of your copier paper as well.
Brilliant.
So there really isn't too many restrictions to this. Hence why we was applying it to vellum earlier. You know, play about.
I love that. That's perfect. That's brilliant. Aisha, you've asked a question, and I'm not 120% sure which one you're talking about, so do feel free to message in. You've just said they are to be stored upright, correct? I don't know if you're talking about the paste or the metallics or the lunars. Message in again if you don't mind. Yeah, all of them. Do feel free to message on in. Well, how do you store, if it is about these, let's preempt it, how would you store these?
I mentioned this earlier. I take out all of my applicators, I wash them all through, and I keep these in a big basket, and then I stack all of my polishes just on shelves. If you go on my Facebook page, I redid my craft room at about December time, and there are photos, so you will see how I store them. And they're all along a bookcase all across one side of my room, because I literally have got about 140 of them. So they're all just stacked going along one wall. So they're fine like that. Polishes or your texture paste, again, they might, please don't ever listen to me. They might tell you on them not to do this, but I'm not breaking rules or not reading. And at home I have a tray, and they all lay in the tray on one of my shelves. And they've been there now since December, and they haven't exploded, gone bad, or anything else. So I think they're fine. I haven't leaked either, which is the important bit. So yeah, even these I do store on the side, but again, you could of course stack them if you wish to, so it's your choice.
That's wonderful, thank you. Do keep those questions coming in. We will be asking those for you in a moment. Before it, as we were talking about the aperture dies, let me just remind you of them. Put it the right way around, Bex. We have got for you the lovely aperture collections, and you have got here a range to be working with and a lot of fun to be had with the hexagons. I've got circle apertures in there, as well as, of course, your squares. If you do like the additions of things like Make-A-Wish, the birthday cake, etc., then this is all within this collection as well. 37 elements within this in total, so you can grab those ones. Another one that we were nattering about, which is out now of stock, is the Lunar. But don't forget, if you want any other kind of paste polishes, etc., then we do have them, including the matte as well. Shall we have another demonstration? Oh, Twister's arm. What are we looking at next?
So this time we're going to play around with the matte chalk polishes. So I did just do that little swipe with them, but I think it's more important that you get to see them in a bit more detail on this show.
Gorgeous.
So this is using a few of our colours and a few of our stamps, and we're going back to our layering dyes, obviously. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to bring in our sheet. Now I've already done this, and you did just see it sort of happen a little while ago, but using our sky blue, exactly the same as I did with the green on that piece of card, we can build up our ramp, and we can take our colour on and add to it and build up our sheet. So if you do wish to cover a whole sheet, there's no reason why you can't. And although you might think, well, why not use a piece of card in that colour? We go back to the idea that we can tone this in now. So all of our different layers, all of our different mediums, all of our different places. So it's more about having continuity of colour, which is what I aim for when I'm sort of doing these things sometimes. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to bring it in, and we're just going to show you quickly how you can stamp on top of this. Again, I did this earlier with a metallic polish, because I think sometimes we fear that once we've done this sort of treatment to a piece of card, we can't do no more to it, or we've got to call that a day. So I'm just going to bring in our old Lattice stamp, which is one of our woodware stamps. It's designed by Francois Reed, and we're going to pop that down. And we're going to go completely rogue, because I can't find my grey ink pad, so we're going to go for purple.
Ooh!
Why not? Let's live life in the fast lane.
Yeah, why not?
Colour. So we're going to go for our purple ink, and we're going to go all the way across our stamp, inking that up ready. And we're just going to bring that over and stamp that down. Now this one's a really forgiving one, so if we miss an area or we want to build it up and create larger backgrounds, we can so easily do that just by moving it around a little bit more. Cool. Now because I'm using the VersaFine Clear inks, I find these stay wet for a very long time, so I tend to heat emboss my ones just in a clear powder, because I'm too impatient to leave them to dry. If you wish to, you can leave it to dry, that's not a problem. But do that, make up your background, do your stamping, and then we will talk about our next layer.
Okay,
so
perfect.
with mine, here it is, that's it onto the card. So as I said, I've stamped in grey for this one, and I've used a piece of grey card to go underneath it just to build up those layers. We're then going to go for another piece of grey card, and we have already gone ahead and cut out the squared scalloped die, and we're going to pop that on, just going off the side here. I've just noticed that there's one of these that hasn't been popped out, so we'll go in and pop that out. We can't have you thinking it's not cut, it's just me missing a bit. We'll pop that down, and then we're going to build up our background to our aperture. So we're going to bring back our polishes, and we did exactly the same technique not that long ago with our metallic polishes, but this time we're going to do it with the matte chalk polishes.
Okay.
So we're going to go in for our same shades. We're going to pop that back in there, get out our applicator. So I've already cut my square down, and we're just going to bring in the colours and blend them together. And like I did with the metallic ones, we can start blending them if we want to, or we can keep them just to one shade. These shades always remind me of very beachy sort of summer holidays.
So true, yeah,
which I think is
definitely.
quite nice. So we're going to add in our green, which is the honeydew. So we've got custard and honeydew, and then we're going to go in for some blue as well. This is our sky blue. I think I might just be desperate for a holiday, but it reminds me of them sort of holiday vibes.
No, it really does, yeah. Somewhere, yeah, very picturesque. Do you know what I mean?
I'd go anywhere at the moment. I'm not picky. It feels like so long since I've been anywhere. Anywhere will do.
Bless you.
So we're going to add our polish on, and we're going to let that dry. So again, that will take just a second to dry before we can work on it. I'm going to lift it up. We always struggle with the matte chalks on TV because they are so flat. The colours are so light. But when you see them in reality, they're a lot prettier, they're a lot nicer than you're possibly seeing it on your screen, but very subtle. So I have one of these I've already done, and we're going to bring that one in now. And if I can find where I've popped it, because I've gone ahead and lost it. Oh, here it is. So far prepared, I've already put it over here. And so I'm not good at all these demos, I get in a mess. You said at the beginning, are you a clean crafter? And I was quite shocked that I appeared to be. I told you it would all go wrong. So we'll take off our magnets, and we're going to bring in our piece that's done. I'm going to pop them down to hold them. I'm going to put it against the edge again. And then we're going to lay this in. Now I would put it up the other way, but I've already taken the lid off my phone tape, forgetting that I was going to do this. And we're going to bring in some of our Francois Reed stamps. And then literally all we're going to do is pick what we want to appear in each window and pop them roughly in place so that we could stamp them and then heat emboss them exactly the same as we have our background. So we'll go off for a few of these. We'll put the little arrow up there maybe. We should be able to fit the word love in. Should we pop that into that one? And we can tuck them slightly under the edge. That's not the end of the world if they're not fully in view. And we're going to pop some hearts into that one as well. So this is a really nice, obviously, Valentine's set if you want to use it for that, or wedding anniversaries, or just to say I love you.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm going to pop that one down there, and that's roughly about right. And we'll pick that up on the lid. And again, we'll go in with our ink, and we can ink all of these up and stamp them down. So even positioning the pieces into your windows, if you wish to do your stamping, can be quite easy. And you could bring in all your character stamps. You know, I've got some cute little snowmen, and I'm going on about Christmas again, aren't I? But some cute little snowmen that I think just poking out of each of these little windows could look really cute and fun.
That's a nice idea, yeah.
So again, because I actually want to be working in grey if I could find it, I've done one already, and I've heat embossed that in clear, so we can bring in our frame once again and pop that over the top, just so that we see them elements coming through on the windows. And then we're going to bring this onto our card, and we're going to find our glue somewhere around here, and we're going to, oh, I'm lying, we're going to use our foam tape that's already on it, super prepared. Now, I actually quite like that, back off on another angle, but you could go square like the original, but let's go rogue. We'll pop that off on a bit of an angle. And then for our flowers on this one, I'm going to use the French marigold flowers. Now, these are so pretty. I mentioned this earlier, but they have this incredible detail that cuts into them or sort of embosses into them. Now, I've already coloured these, and this isn't what I'm meant to be doing with them at all, but I'm going to bring in an ink pad, and I'm going to brush this over the top, so you can see that detail.
Yeah, wow.
One of the things I really like with this flower is if you cut them out of gold mirror card, because I love a bit of gold mirror card, and then take a stays-on pad, whether it's a black one or a coloured one, is your choice, brush over the top of it, and all of that detail will shine through in gold, but you'll end up with some really dramatic, they look a bit like metal flowers, and that can look really cool.
That's a really good idea.
So I'll pop that to one side. This time we're just going to go with them quite subtle, so that I'll accept my purple fingerprint, so never mind. But we'll pop it on anyway. So I have a bit of a purple extra to this one. And we'll add in another one on the corner here. And then we're going to bring in our leaves. So we've got some lovely leaves in this set that engrave the detail exactly the same as what they have on the petals of the flowers. I'm going to tuck these in around the card. This is truly one of the flowers I just go back to time and time again. We've got lots of different flowers from Sue Wilson. This one hasn't been out that long, but it's certainly ranking as my favourite at the moment.
Oh, that's lovely.
And there we go. Oh, flower down. There we go. Flower back.
Nice work.
And there we go. There's our card done. And that one has the bonus purple fingerprint.
Oh, wow. Making it unique.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's cool actually seeing those side by side, because when you have layered up in order and then put the other one on a jaunt, that to me is for like two totally different people, even though it's the same technique and the same design. It's cool, that, isn't it? If you do fancy grabbing them, now is your chance. Let me give you a quick recap. We have got your craft dies by Sue Wilson, your square collection, 37 different elements within there, including but not limited to your circles and your hexagons. Speaking of hexagons, let's talk about the craft die set. This is your hexagons and rickrack ribbon craft dies. If you would like them, you're getting both of those ones today for a 10% discount. Uh-oh, bongos, 80% gone on that one now, so be quick as you can. Let's get some stitching squares and scalloped squares. 80% have gone over this as well. Blimey, what are we going to do at 6 when we come back? Oh, don't know. Let's go and see what's in the kitchen. Let's do a bit of baking. We have got for you all of those. And as you can see, you're getting different varying sizes here. One with that scallop detail, which fits in perfectly to the smaller squares we did earlier. And then I have got the marigold dies and the butterfly dies. So these ones, the marigold is what Jamie's just demoed with then. He's just shown us those beautiful flowers. They've got all of that lovely texture to them. Same with the butterflies that come with those separate layers, not just of the butterfly wings, but the background of the wings, the bodies, and the dealy boppers as well. $24.49 on them ones. Then we've got our love squares and our love mail. So your love squares are like lovely little stamps, if you will, which have lots of different sentiments on them. And then you've got your love mail too, which is beautiful for sending cards and gifts to loved ones. Then I'm bringing to you some slimline stencils now. Lovely Jamie worked with these earlier on and they look so cool. They're great for adding texture. You can use them in different stages as well. And they're just $6.99 for both of them, or $8.75. It's a saving of 10% whilst we're live here today. So grab them if you fancy them. We have run out of some of our pots similar to these. We have still got the matte chalk available though. We are hanging on. We have got for you the sky blue, the wisteria, the custard and the honeydew. All four of those $22.49 or $33.99. We have also got the lunar paste, but we haven't anymore, so ignore me. We have started off the show with our octagon dies earlier, and they are creating these sort of canvas style details that we can add into our cards, but we can do so much more. With Jamie mentioned earlier on, you can get them back to back them, and then they're like an ornament for like a Christmas tree. Oh no, he's got me doing it now. We have got the opportunity here for you to create some really, really special makes. So if you would like to take the moment on these ones, you can, because you can use them as sort of a frame, if you will, or you could use them as a whole. It is up to you. Shall we have a little bit more inspo from the lovely Jamie? Go on then, let's do it. Oh, I feel like we're in... Where does Simba live when I'm looking at that?
I don't know.
You
I don't
know
watch
Simba.
films. I said that.
That's true, my
I've
fault.
got no idea. I'm even like a massive Disney fan, but I still don't watch their films either.
Really?
Yeah, no,
it's
I'm
the
quite
Serengeti. I've just been reminded.
Of
Yeah,
course
thank
it
you.
is. Yeah, we should have known
Of course
that.
it is, yeah. And I was about to do the impression of the monkey fella lifting up the baby lion, but I'll
Please
leave
don't
that.
let us stop
No,
you.
I'll leave it for another day. I'm with you, Jamie.
Okay, so this is the card that we're going to do next, and we're going back to playing with the polishes again, and we're also going to play with some of our mixed media embossing powders. Now, earlier you've seen me do this where we brushed the polishes over a piece of card, embossed card, and then added the powders. This time what we're going to do, and we sort of touched on this a little bit, we're going to use our stencil and our polish as a texture paste. So although we don't package them as a texture paste, there's no reason why we can't use them as one. So again, I'm going to go into the pure silver, and I'm going to use one of our palette knives. Again, you could tape down your stencil. I'm being naughty, I'm going rogue again. I'm just going to take my polish, and we're going to pop this over the top. If it isn't completely crisp, that's why, or that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But we're just going to take our polish and pop it down over the top of this. I might not do all of this, we're just going to give you a bit of an idea here, just so you can see it will work. We'll pop our polish over. Now this stencil, there is an example that we held up earlier, where I've gone in with a stipple brush and coloured each individual component, so even down to the greenery of the trees, and the bark of the trees obviously, and the moon and all of them bits in different colours. Because you can mix your polishes, you can certainly achieve that, or you can bring in other items to add into the mix as well. But we're just going to pop this on. I'll call it a day there, and we're going to lift our stencil off. Hopefully it's going to be crisp enough. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. I've got a little bit of seepage here, so as I say, you don't have to be the same as me. I'm going a bit rogue, trying to be a bit quick. Don't forget to mask if you wish to. We've got the tape for you on the show.
Yes.
But the moral of this is we can use it as a texture paste. And because it is now really thick, it will take on our mixed media embossing powders really well. So I've got some funky cold patina, and I'm going to sprinkle this over the top. Now again, if I was at home, I would stop in between each colour, I would tap off the excess, and then I could return it to the jar. Or I would start creating my own mix. So although we've got several colours in each jar, because we've bought you 3 different colours today, you could mix them all together in a waste pot or an empty pot and start making up your own mixes. Never be afraid to do that. You can create some really cool effects by making your own colours. And then we're going to bring in the Iron Age. We're going to do exactly the same again, so we're going to sprinkle that over the top. Now this is what sort of brings in that Serengeti sunset feel to your colours, so we might want to be a bit heavier with this one. And then we would tap off the excess. Now, the trick here is to not heat this right now. Because of our polishes, all of our polishes, they're fine to heat them if you're going to apply them thin onto a piece of card and you want to be impatient and you want to die cut it or emboss it. But when we put the medium on really thick like this, if we heat it, we'll start to see it bubble. That could actually look really nice. That's not a problem. You would get a different texture. But if you're patient enough, put this to one side, leave it for a couple of hours till the texture base actually sets or the polish sets, and then take off your excess and just tip it off. We can do that anyway so you can see it. Tip off the excess and it would have stayed on top of your polish. It will still be in place all over where your polish is, which is what I've got ready here. And I've got one somewhere, he says. Where did he put it? Here it is. So I've got one that I've already done that with. And I'm going to heat it now.
Okay,
so
cool.
my texture paste or my polish is dry, but my embossing powder will stay in place. So we're not going to heat all of it because that could be really boring to watch. It's an 8x8 stencil. That's going to take a couple of minutes to do. But if we start melting them, you're going to see the colour of the polish come through. You're also going to see the polish or the different colours in the mixed media powder start to mould together or melt together, and that's going to make some really interesting combos.
Yeah, you can see it on the top of the tree and near the giraffe where they almost like pop open a little bit in a way, don't they? That's really cool.
And this, to be honest with you, you might be wondering, how long can I leave this before I heat it?
Right, yeah.
This piece of card has been waiting for today since about January the 5th. And it's still fine. Who knew if it would be fine, but it's fine. And it's still melted and it's still working. So all is fine. So yeah, don't feel you've got to get up tomorrow morning and do this once your polish is set. Come back to it a month and a half later.
Yeah,
and it'll still work.
That's good to know.
So I'm not going to do all of it because that would get boring. But this bit here looks really quite lovely, especially here with our eyes, so to speak. TV cameras can sometimes lose a little bit of the magic, but you've got that same shimmer as what Becky's holding up on the boards when she shows you these colours, and it can just give you a really different effect and a different way to use your stencil. So we're going to pop that off to one side. We're going to bring in our panels once again. So same idea. I've not changed my formula here. Piece of white card, a bit of gold around the edge. Then we're going to pop on a white layer into the centre of that. Oh no, we're not. That's the wrong one. Sorry, try again.
It's all right.
I've already layered it. White card.
You did say you had a lot of white card.
All these bits of white card. And sometimes I write on them and that still don't work. But this one's layered with foam tape on the back of it, and that one looks better. Look at that one. So we'll pop that one in instead. So you've just got that small gold edge around the side of it. Lovely. And we'll stand that one up to show you. This is the rose gold that's been used as our texture paste as such. It's the bit that's gone through the stencil, and then the colours on top. When I stand this card up, that one was done with the gold polish. So you may see the different tone coming from underneath. That's because we've used the different polishes. So again, having all 6 gives you more freedom and more chance to experiment.
Oh, it is just fabulous. Kirsten is saying, second order's gone in. I love that. I can't resist these polishes. Hello to Hannah saying this stencil is amazing. Hello to Aisha saying, Becky's back in the house. Oh, you didn't even say it like that. I've just made that really like, back in the house, which is like, you know, when you granddad like tries to be dead cool, that's how I felt. But it is my birthday on Sunday, so maybe I'm preparing myself to get older. But anyway, Becky back in the house with special guest Jamie. Absolutely loving this show. I love the polishes too. I have 10 of them now and they all work flawlessly. Pammy is in saying, I love this stencil. I'm wild about it.
We like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're shows that, I think.
You should never listen to the sound effects that come out of me in a day. It's not free.
Love it. Thank you for those messages. Do keep them coming in. Just as a little reminder, it's time for us to get voting on demo of the show. Now brace yourself, lovely social team. I think it was Susie's back in with us now. Susie, there's quite a few to go through because Jamie's been crafting up a storm. So let's remind us of the order we did our cards in, and then everyone can vote at home.
Okay. I think I've got the order right.
I
Don't
believe
tell
you.
me if it's wrong. So card number 1, we did our stenciling with, so that's card number 1.
Number 1.
Card number 2, we brought in our canvases and we played around with them, built them up. So that's card number 2.
2.
Number 3, we got to play around with that lovely hexagon background and create our lace flowers.
That's 3.
Card number 4 was when we stenciled directly onto the card with our polishes.
Love that, yeah. 4.
Card number 5 was our real quick and simple, just cherish card.
5.
Number 6 was when we got stamping with our vintage roses over our metallic background.
That one's...
Number 7 was when we went back to the matte chalk polishes and did a bit of stamping over those ones.
Love it.
And then number 8 is our Serengeti one.
I love it. That is a lot to vote on. Sorry, I'm looking beside me because I love how Becky and Connie are sat there going, which one is my favourite? I think I'd vote for that one. I love it. Do get on our socials and vote for your favourite, and we will let you know the winner of that in a few mins. Before that though, let's have a little nosaroo at some of the stencils that I know you have been loving. This is the one that Pammy was wild about. You have got that lovely sort of Serengeti-esque background. You've got the elephants in there, the wonderful giraffes, that sun or moon even setting. Really beautiful design. Then I'm bringing to you in here a selection of your stencils, which is really cool for your mixed media. I've got my numbers going along here. I've also got for you the types of wood for like art, etc. Don't forget, if you use these with your paste, you can get that 3D effect. Then I've got for you your Luscious Lily stencil set. So as you can see, if I flip it over, you get all 3 of those stamps within there, including a really nice fine one that would be gorgeous if you wanted to do a paper craft homemade bookmark, for example. It's a perfect look for that. And just to give you an idea of how you can use them when you are embossing them, so you'll run them through your die machine. These are the kind of effects that you can get. Wow. So that is all of those beauties. Treat yourself to them whilst you can. We've got a quick break whilst you're all voting. Check out those baskets. We're going to double check if we've got any stock of anything left, and we will be back to you in a few.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Achieve crisp, precise, and perfect die cutting results every time with the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim. The idea behind the plastic shim is that it creates a thicker plate combination, offering an even more precise die cutting result with each pass. Simply pop a plastic shim between your cutting plates and then roll through your Gemini die cutting machine and voila! An amazing precise cut every time. Plastic shims work really well with detailed or thin metal dies. So if intricate cutting is your thing, then the Gemini Accessories Plastic Shim is your best friend.
Quick Buy, get yours now. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. It's lovely to be with you. What a fabulous show we are having. Not just my opinion. It's what everyone on socials is saying. Absolutely loving Jamie, loving these products, loving the demos. We have got some time to ask more questions if you wish. Now be your chance because we're just waiting for you to sort of vote for your demo of the show. So if you've got any questions now, pop them in. And because we're not demoing now, it's not like I'm going, wait, should I interrupt him now? No, interrupt him now. Oh, great, I've interrupted him at the bit that was the most important. So yeah, we can chill and relax now. So do feel free to get those questions in. I just want to let you know some of the goodies that we have got for you. I'm starting off by showing you the dies that create these fabulous background effects. I do this because of course there's so much you could use these for. We have your Hexagon die. We also have your Rick Rack die. And just to give you an idea of the kind of look you can get with this, check that out as a background. That just looks magical. And am I right in saying this is over the chalk pots?
Just like we did on Demo 7, I believe. Exactly the same idea, but that's with the custard and the wisteria colours.
That looks stunning, doesn't it? So you've got each of these ones today, and it is just $27.99 or $47.99 with that discount today. As well as this, say that to me again, sorry. Oh, no, me. Right, you tell me what Johnny's saying to me.
The squares.
The squares
Stitched
next.
squares.
The squares. Johnny, don't think I'm just ignoring you, although sometimes I do. Today I'm not. I have got for you stitched squares as well as your scalloped squares as well. So with this one, you're getting these dies that kind of nest inside each other, so really cool for mats and layers. But also we have got different effects. So this one here is probably the most blatant to see because it's got that wonderful almost filigree effect to it. It's got these loops and swoops to it that give you that beautiful scalloped edge. With this one, what you will be able to see when you get these home, it's a little bit hard to see just because they're so wonderfully dainty. is you've got this delicate stitching effect all the way down the side at each one of these angles. And they're actually cut through. So it's not just like texture, it's actually all the way through. Getting that done gives a beautiful element when you layer them up. So if you can see in this card there, if I hold it really still there, you can see they've used the scalloped edge, and then on the inside have used the stitch edge. So that's a cool thing about these. You can swap and change and interlock, can't you?
Absolutely. They do, as you say, completely work together. So you've got all of them abilities to create your own frames or your mats and layers. They're brilliant. So,
That's
you know,
really
true
wonderful.
essential.
Yeah, you are getting 18 elements, or 19, sorry, of those within there. And of course you're getting that varying sizes. Now let's talk marigolds, shall we? Because, well, if you have a nosy at this one, we have been talking about the marigolds quite a lot. I've got the marigolds and the butterflies. You said that the marigolds is one that you reach for time and time again. Why is that, Jamie?
I think it's because of that sort of inlay work that's done on it, because it's going to cut your filigree pieces into it, or not even cut, deboss, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. So when I show you the brushing of the ink pad over the top, that to me sells it. It's not just a flower that's just going to be a shape cut out. It gives you that ability to bring in your products to them and really make the two tones sing.
That's brilliant. If you do want to treat yourself to these, I have got some inspiration that's going to just make you go, oh, yes, please. First off, I'll show you what you're getting exactly. These different shapes with your finishing touches in here as well. So you're getting the flowers themselves, which you can stack and layer up. And if you can see, you've got that delicate texture that runs through them, gives them a sense of realism. I think sometimes, in my humble opinion, that when you get, for example, flowers or leaves sometimes, it's very, very often seen that it is maybe just like the outside as a little bit of texture and that's it, the centre's left bare. With these, the detail is literally right into the centre, like exactly where the stamen would be. So all of that detail runs through, and that's something that I've not seen often at all. I really like that attention to detail. I've also got your flutterbys here, so you're getting the back wings, if you will, you're getting the details, you're getting the body and the dealy boppers. And I've got to show you some of these incredible finished samples. Check that out. Oh my goodness, Jamie, this is amazing. So this is using those circles that we did, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, because once again, those layering dies stay in your cardstock. So if you want to create the dome front like I have on this one, it's so easy to do by just sort of bending it around and adding a panel behind it. Also in behind the flowers, you will see the hexagon die to sort of give a trellis effect that the flowers are climbing up.
Oh yeah, I've just spotted that. Oh, I love cards like that where you see something, then you look again and you look again. It's lovely, that one. And there's another one here which I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking a wedding card. Yours is going to be the one that if you send this to someone for their wedding, it's going to be at the front of that mantelpiece. It's just incredible. Again, using those wonderful florals and of course using the dies that we've just brought to you as well. So we have got all of those ones for you today. Speaking of things that we love and adore, let me bring to you some love squares now. Where did we were talking about these for Valentine's Day, but what else might you be thinking of using these love stamps for?
The love stamps, well, to be honest, anniversaries are never far away, are they?
True
Them
that.
years fly round and we need them for those. Weddings, exactly the same. When I was talking with Joe earlier, when we were talking about them stamps in particular, we were saying how good they would be to make your own wrapping paper. And he told me something I didn't realise actually about wrapping paper not always being biodegradable.
Yes.
And was saying actually if you was to get your own brown paper and stamp them, how beautiful that would be and how elegant. So again, I think these are really good stamps if you wish to be giving wedding gifts or anniversary presents or just people you love. There's no reason we can't tell somebody we love them all year round. And we should, even if we aren't, we should.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. If you do want these stamps, look at the kind of effect you can create, and these are the ones that you are going to be getting. It's really cool. They have lots of hints and tips on the back of them, which is always going to be really, really handy. And you've got lots of lovely details in here. So I'll read some of these out to you. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Going round and round and round is one of them. love, and then the alphabet. That's a really cool one. It's like love and then the alphabet sort of higgledy-piggledy within it, which is a really nice one. You have got, what's the safety pin one? Oh, fragile. That's so cute. So yeah, you've got lots of lovely ones to enjoy and work with there. So this is the type of style of cards that you can create after, and I love how crisp these are, although they've kind of got that, see what I mean with them? They've kind of got this artistic feel about them, haven't they? They don't look, that's the word I'm looking for, they don't look mass produced, that you can tell that it's been handmade, which is beautiful, really nice. Plenty of you getting in touch. I know you've got your questions coming through. I will throw them at Jamie in just a moment or two. First off though, let's talk more stencils. So for anyone who's never worked with stencils at all before, what is it that you like to suggest for sort of beginners doing with them?
To be honest, whenever I design stencils, I get new stencils through the post all the time to play with and see which ones we're going to bring out for you. The first thing I do is I get a smoothie, which is one of our blending tools, some colour cloud ink and ink through them, because then that's the moment where you get to see what the stencil really can do. I also love using things like pixie sparkles or pixie powders with them and just tapping them over the top, misting with water, removing the stencil and having that sort of explosion of colour go through in all the areas and the openings of the stencil. That's really pretty. And never forget that you can emboss with them as well, using a rubber mat or a tan mat through your machine, and you're going to end up with beautiful embossed effects, saves you buying embossing folders.
Absolutely. And again, it helps with that tying the theme in, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yes, yeah. It's going to be continuing throughout.
Yeah. So you have got two in this one. I've got your wave and your lattice. You have got an idea on this one of the lattice one working, which is really nice. It almost looks like, you know, in fabric, when you look at fabric really close up, because you're seeing that sort of wafted in it. Let me show you that, how they run through the embossing machine. This is on your bright, shiny, beautiful card. But you can see the detail in that. But you can also see the precision in it, actually, can't you?
Very crisp designs, very intricate.
Yeah, the crispness. I said crispness, not Christmas, we've moved on. It's $6.99, that is $8.75. We have also got our chalk polishes, and the chalk polishes we showed you earlier on. With the chalk polishes, they do give you a slightly more matte feel. Can you use them with some of your sort of sparkly polishes, or would you suggest?
Absolutely, no, why not? Absolutely, bring those in. So if you want to have them as your foundation layer and add on top your sparkles or your metallic polishes, absolutely, why not? Yeah, feel free to mix and match between all of the Cosmic Shimmer range. To be honest, it will all work really well for you.
That's really good. We have got some of these lovely pots available for you now. Actually, I did have a question earlier on about not quite these pots, but it was one that came through. Catherine has said, I have some opal glazed pots, but I don't know how to use them successfully. Jamie, have you got any tips?
So opal glaze, they're brilliant. They're chocked full of interference mica. So you get up to 5 shades in each pot. So I urge you, go get them and play with them. They are magic in a jar. But you can use them with a smoothie. So the best way to do it is take a palette knife, and I haven't got a smoothie, so I'm going to use one of these for time. Hook it out of the jar, butter your smoothie so that it's nice and sort of thin and covered, and then take that over black cardstock. They will just dance in the light. It will look beautiful. 3D embossing folders, the ones like the Moroccan tile that we've got on today's show, would look gorgeous, and as it moves through the light you will see up to 5 shades. They are magic.
That's brilliant. It's also brilliant that when you rock up at work, you never know what you're going to hear, but butter your smoothie, I wasn't expecting, I'll be honest with you.
Stick with me, it gets more and more random as the day goes on, I promise you.
I love it. So we have got for you your 4 different colours in this collection. We have got your matte chalk in the sky blue, in the wisteria, in the custard, and in the honeydew. And this is the kind of effect that you can create from them. You genuinely need to like get these home and give them a go, because it's really hard to kind of pick up their mattification, if that's even a word, without seeing it. It's beautiful, and I can imagine, and sort of I was playing around with some of these before, holding them next to different things. when you put this with your, you know, your gilding polishes, for example, the juxtaposition is so sort of dynamic that actually I can tell you're going to have a lot of fun with kind of experimenting with them. So well worth giving it a go, because they look cool on screen, don't get me wrong, but they do look ace in real life. 22.49. We have had a winner in for demo of the show. Ladies, lovely ladies, I know you've not got a mic on, so do just speak up. Which ones were you voting for? 3. Oh, in harmony there. Okay, they're both looking for 3. I'm going to be honest with you, so many votes came through. Even my social media superstar, who's Susie this afternoon, has put her vote in because she's basically said, I did like that one, but actually I would like this one to win. Susie, you didn't get your own way. The winner of demo of the show is demo number 1.
Really? Wow. So number 1 was our stenciled card, which was the very first one we did, obviously.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for voting.
No problem.
Don't forget, we will be back with Jamie in an hour with whatever we've got left. I will just remind you that we have sold out of some things already in the show. So if you do go onto the website and it's looking a little bit bare, you know, like sort of at the start of the pandemic when you'd walk into the supermarket and it would just be like, you know, the one lowly toilet roll. We have got very, very few items left. So please, if you've fancied something, it's well worth going to treat yourself to it now. Do not forget, we have got Cartload coming up for you later as well. We've got the wonderful Corey joining us. We have got so many fabulous deals, and I'm going to be straight with you. I haven't looked at any of the makes yet, but I am so excited. And also, I have looked at the poll and seen just how much stuff is on there. I do not know how we are going to find the space. We might have to open the doors because there is just jam-packed with goodies. So just as a little reminder, that's coming up for you at 7 o'clock, which is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be 11 a.m. Pacific time. So well worth setting your alarm for that. Jamie's going to be back with us at 6. What are you doing with your hour off, Jamie?
Not a lot.
Good. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe a drink and something to eat, and then I'll be back, ready to go again.
Perfect. So don't forget that Jamie will be back with us. That's 6 p.m. UK time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you've got any questions, do maybe make a little note of them, and then when we start back that show, we can get those to Jamie, because we may as well make the most of him whilst he's here. And don't forget, the species of fish question still hasn't been asked, so just dwell on that. Myself, lovely George and Charlotte, in fact the whole team, including Jamie, will be back with you in a few.